I got my eye out for him.
Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. This week, we are diving into the murky pool that is pop culture. There are a lot of not so great things out there, but there are a couple of nuggets that we're going to talk about this week, which I'm pretty excited about. And if any of you have seen Joker Voice, please tell him mom's worried and to come home. So let's go around here and do our introductions, and then we will dive into this week. He is my partner on this channel. He is my wingman. He once stopped me from ordering a ground invasion of Detroit because of 1994's The Crow, but then changed his mind after the trailer for The Crow 2024. He is Shieldwall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me here. Yeah, ground invasion of Detroit. Had to call that off and then had to put it back on again. Because as we all know, you make two blunders. Never start a land war in Asia and never remake The Crow.
Yes.
True.
My God. True. So welcome back, my friend. It is good to have you. She will tell you if this is the way. Books, games, or movies. She is armored up and ready to fight. She is the Untamed Mando. Welcome back, Mando. And still, even without Joker, God damn you all.
I'm sure he'll return.
I'm sure he will. Yep. How are you, Mando? How are you doing? How have
you
been
this all week? Right. I'm doing all right. Yesterday, I did a stream on my Twitch and Kick channel because the gaming company, Black Knight Digital, who has created a game called Possessions, is my sponsor. They came out with some cosmetics yesterday, and one of them is a cup that says "Gosh dang it" for one of the little things that you play, and I was just like, I love it. So I had to play because one, they're my sponsors, and two, it's my cosmetic that they did. So it was fun. It was good stuff.
That's. I don't think Beard has a cosmetic, so I won't ask him that question. For a brief time, they used his beard to try and complete the border wall. He is Beard of Liberty. Welcome back, my friend. Always good to have you. How have you been this week?
Thank you for having me. I was this close to thinking I was going to have to call in sick or not show up or show up late for this, but so I was running around. I'm still kind of sweating from just getting everything last minute in place. So I'm happy to be here. Although once I refresh my mind with the topics, I'm sure I might be a little bit more depressed after that.
It is. It's not a great list this week, folks. There are a couple things. There are actually a couple things I added in after the bulk of the story stuff. Some of that stuff we may not get to. Some of it will. We'll see where the conversation takes us this week. He has been away for a while, but he has returned to us. He moves with mystery, they say. He comes and goes as he will. He is our favorite wizard of the interwebs. He is Blair de Blair. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good. Been live streaming all week. I did Beard of Liberty's first stream on Monday. Then I did Jacob on Tuesday. Now I'm here on Thursday.
Wow, that's busy. That's a busy week. That's a lot. I hope you have a comfortable chair.
I do. See?
I do not. My chair is not comfortable. It's actually partly made of an Iron Maiden. It's very uncomfortable. He is the meme master of the interwebs, using his power for good instead of evil. He is Jacob Ironside. Welcome back, my friend. How have you and the raccoons been this week?
Good.
Actually, the rain knocked the internet out earlier today, but I'm good now.
Oh dear.
Was it the devil's rain or something? Jeez, I was like,
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Always a danger. It's always a
raccoon.
danger with Jacob. You don't know what's
he was
happening.
raining
there.
fire.
The raccoon of the underworld's rain.
Look. All right, here,
See,
look who's
little
here.
trash pandas floating
There he
by.
is.
Hey, there he is. Yes, make up for lost time. You know,
Most
it's
of
things
the
like
panel
this.
has scissors.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And
Oh,
Jacob,
God.
Jacob, I don't know what your raccoons have, but apparently they have friends in Nevada. Because I don't know what happened, because I was having the hell of a time just getting my computer and my internet going. So hi, I'm here.
The desert raccoons.
I hate them. That they
They're basically
almost die
giant
now.
scorpions with raccoon tails. You know.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's fun.
He is the nemesis of the Dark Knight, the scourge of Gotham. He is Joker voice. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here. We were a little worried. Mando was getting the milk cartons ready. Beard was getting the search party, and Blair de Blair was, putting things in a cauldron, trying to conjure a vision spell. But here you are. So
Yes, and yes. Batman's a dick. We'll just leave it at that.
accepted. Oh, God damn it, Matt. All right. He is the man that knows all the things about all the things. He is the bad that shouldn't be, the unbearable 73. Matt Sins.
That's St. John.
Matt Jinsan. Guys, didn't you watch Shogun and Jinsan? Matt Jinsan?
Matt Jin,
I don't speak
Jin,
Japanese.
Matt Jin, not going to work here anymore. That's so. Welcome back, Matt.
Yeah, not going to be working here anymore.
Not
You know, Roman almost nailed Kwisatz Haderach when I did it, but he couldn't get this. I was like, what?
Sure.
I don't get them all, folks. In fact, I'd like it a 50-50 on this stuff. So it's not great. Jim the Viking got it. It's Jim the Viking. Welcome, Jim the Viking, all the way from the British Isles as well.
Hell, Jim.
Good to see you with us, my friend.
Nice.
Ducka, and finally, musician, pop culture aficionado, man of the people. He is Sammy Three-Peat on his fourth visit with us this time. So Sammy, he's a regular now. He's officially gained that stamp. He tried to wash it off. It doesn't come off, unfortunately. So he is with us now, and welcome, Sammy.
It's like a fungus.
I love it.
I have a video clip for that. So welcome back, Sammy. Hopefully the dog is contained this evening. We're all a little worried about the dog.
I was so pissed. It was such an easy problem to solve. It was like, it's not like we live in, like the woods where we could lose an animal and never came back. He was 3 houses down. It was like, my wife was just.
Was he getting drinks with the other dogs? Was it that poker game?
Yeah, he was playing poker. Yeah. He no, you know how I got him back? I called him.
He has his own cell phone. What's his number? I'd like his number. I would like to call him.
Yeah, you're like, get
Turn
your
it
ass
into a
home
bit.
right now, or you're grounded.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
my
walks.
goodness. Well, let's take a look and see who is with us
Well,
tonight, and then we can roll into
Roman.
this. Jacob.
Yeah, I found a really weird photo of you. I don't know if you're doing
God.
calisthenics or yoga. I
Oh,
don't
where
know.
did you put it, Jacob? Where is it? Where did you stick it? Is it under Friends of the
It's in
Empire?
your DM chat.
Oh, sweet
Yeah,
mother of
yeah.
God.
Where did you stick it, Jacob?
Ew.
Well,
Yeah.
I think I know where he stuck it based on this picture. That's pretty good. Oh my gosh. That's fantastic.
Wow.
That's a little terrifying,
Zach?
actually.
That's
Oh my
yeah.
God.
That's kind of like Roman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Mother
folks.
dick.
3 Faces of Eve. She got nothing on me. Let's say hi to our friend here in the chat. Jim the Viking, as I said, welcome, Jim. Good to see you. I miss Jim. I miss your face. I miss doing shows with you. It's been a long time. Zax, and you're not wrong. So
Zax.
the Navy. I mean, the boat Navy has always been a little weird. No offense to the boat guys, but you know it's true, and so do I. Problem is that's aviation Navy as well. You know, it is what it is. They had that fun crew that was all fun all the time. They were the first of their type. Abomination, AJ, my favorite,
AJ.
my friend. Good to see you out there. R2 the Icky. R2, welcome. Always good to see R2 out there. Remember, no little Spidey. No little Spidey. Ducka. Americus 2001. Welcome. Good to see you out there. And that appears to be it in the chat. We have so for those of you watching, it's kind of funny. So we're spread across a few different channels. So you're looking on my channel and you're seeing this number, but I mean, there's almost 30 people watching the show right now, which I know in big Gary numbers isn't a lot, but for us, I'm very happy with that number. Like I said, we share the wealth here on Roman the Empire. Yes, Joker, do you have to go to the bathroom?
Yes.
Not yet. Speaking of Gary, congratulations, 1 million
Yes,
subscribers.
1 million subs.
Well deserved.
It's just crazy. I mean, I started watching Gary, I think back in 2017 was when I wandered into the neurotic world, which I think when a lot of us, that's when Doctor Who took a shit and we started seeing the rise of the fandom, which is us. So
if it wasn't then, it was after the first sequel Star Wars movie.
Yep.
That made people bought people houses.
That's when I turned into Milton from Office Space and was like, "That's the last straw."
I'm gonna burn this all to the ground.
I can put strychnine.
Tim's talk just wandered in. Welcome, my friend. So yeah, Gary and 1 million subs, and many on this panel will be out in Vegas visiting, meeting up with Gary and each other, which I'm really looking forward to. That's going to be a hoot. It certainly was last time. My friend Tom and I are working on finding us a different buffet this time around.
Because last time you went,
that's a really good buffet.
Bougie. It's bougie.
I don't mind. Look, I have the money to spend on a bougie buffet. I would like to spend it.
If you don't go to the buffet that gives you the bubonic plague from the crab legs, then it's no good.
Right.
It's a long drive from Vegas, so I need to make sure my standards are up pretty high.
But actually, Shield, that doesn't happen because all seafood gets flown in every day fresh in Vegas.
Acolytes coming out soon. That sounds almost as fun as getting fit. Well, actually, Bobby, we are good. That is one that we are going to be subjecting each other to on this panel. That's going to be one of our weekly review shows.
So I don't want to come back.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
We can't possibly review anything good.
Yeah. Look.
Actually, we talked Shield did Shogun last night. What a breath of fresh air.
I know.
I mean, honestly,
I'm not watching Shogun right now. I know.
Honestly, though, I really wish that somehow this Acolyte thing would just be a surprise hit, like really good.
That's what I tell people.
Shock the shit out of us.
It's good. I want it to be good. I love these things.
Yeah.
Stop.
Looking forward to Ahsoka, and then my heart was ripped out of my chest and smashed.
That first little fight scene in the trailer looked pretty good.
Well, here's the thing.
But it's probably going to be Sith Lives Matter.
We'll get there in a second. We got a couple things we're going to talk about first. As we're going to walk through some things that are not good. Just as it is what it is, folks. I don't make these rules. I don't, they just kind of wander in, and you have to work with them as you will. So
put on your mudruckers, people walking through the shit.
We are walking through the shit, and the first thing that came up is this, and I want to talk about this because it pissed me off. Here's the thing. Just right out of the gate, this movie, The Crow, 1994, based on the James Delbar comic, never needed to be remade. No. It didn't need the sequels either. Those were folly of the time. This is flat out stupidity. Well, if you watch the trailer, I'm gonna kind of put it on playing in the background here. found. The look of it, just first of all, is fucking horrible. There's
awful.
nothing here that looks like. No. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't look. And the villain is the old white guy who played the Axeman in American Horror Story. If any of you watched that, none of the people look like they're supposed to look.
They look like rich. They look like rich people, like the people rising up against the bad rich people.
The villains.
There's broader stupidity at work here, though. Okay, so the Crow is a character. Well, not a character. James L. Ball wrote other Crow stories, right?
Yes, he did.
The first movie was fairly good and was iconic, right? Most of the sequels were bad, but they're really not sequels. They're just more Crow stories. And one of the mistakes they made was not adapting additional comics he did. Well, one of them kind of loosely they did. But what they should do here is take another one of his really good Crow comics about a different character, and instead of trying to ape something like the original Crow movie adaptation, which was good, make something like a different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a different. There are other variations. He's written, I want to say 11 or 12 different Crow stories.
And there's actually a Crow that looks more like the character that Skarsgård is playing, and he doesn't look like Eric Draven. He looks like this other dude.
He looks like the Joker.
And apparently he's taking down the mob in this one because it was like, I know what's his name? Danny Houston is not playing T-Bird. That would be ridiculous.
No, they can't do it because of political correctness. What happening? They can't have a bunch of white dudes burning Detroit to the ground. So the political correctness stops them from using the plot of the actual comic. You know what I mean?
These movies never look like they're in Detroit anyway.
No,
right?
But it did get the reference. At least you knew it was in Detroit in the first one. You despite what you saw.
Yeah, but it looks like
the reference was there.
Tim Burton's Batman. It looks like Gotham.
It did look like Gotham. But
I am from Detroit. I assure you, it is not constantly on fire. I promise you.
Well, I was misled, and I'd like my money back.
Exactly.
AJ, it kind of works this way. So it's kind of loosely based on like American Indian and Norse lore, loosely. And when you die, if you die in a certain state of despair, right, and you have a need for vengeance that prevents you from resting, a crow will bring your spirit back, and you have and empower you to fulfill that task. So you have to gain that sort of vengeance, so to speak, right? And there are other characters that guide and help you with the Skull Cowboy and all that. So that's
Dempsey, welcome, my friend. Who the fuck are these people supposed to be? They are far too. This is a much cleaner
That's what I'm
looking
saying.
world.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't even reflect. So as soon as they said Eric and what I forgot the girl's name, but I was like, Shelley. That was like, what the hell? Why
they look like they're going to Taco Bell and Demolition Man.
They do.
Yes,
Also, it looks like it's out of the Matrix, not out of the Crow. Like that reminds me of like Agent Smith. Like it just.
I saw a tweet. Someone was like, "Just call it Zombie Man and move on."
It just looks like they adapted the Crow as like a Danish art film.
Yeah, I'm not. Oh, here he is.
Oh, yeah. He's real intimidating.
Yeah, there is nothing scary about this guy. Fucking top dollar in the Crow was, but Michael Winscott was fucking. First of all, he's got that fucking voice, which is amazing.
Yeah,
he brings a real level of intensity, and he looked dark and scary. He looks like a dentist. He looks like. So Roman, did you get your X-rays this time? Are you due? We like you to get the X-rays, Roman.
Mr. Draven, your library are overdue.
These are actually mostly good actors. So it's not the problem with the actors.
No,
casting and the writing.
Bill Skarsgård's a good actor. It's just here.
And also,
I see the preview.
They like meet in a prison camp. Like it's weird.
The beginning. Let's go back to that little spot, that little magic spot where they're all wearing pink. Fucking what in the holy shit?
Are they in fucking Squid Game? What's going on?
I think it is the prison for all of the cis white people or the white supremacists, and they are forced to wear breast cancer awareness colors.
It's 2024.
Everyone in prison has to be trans now.
I think it's supposed to be like some kind of rehab thing because it's co-ed. Supposedly he meets Draven meets his girlfriend in
It's
this
a co-ed
setting.
prison.
Dude, I've heard
A
so
co-ed
many
prison?
bullshit takes
What?
online on this already. It was like, they're forwarding the love. It was like, dude, it's not about the love story. It's about the revenge story. So I don't need to see, clips of people like rolling around and smiling at
No.
each other in bed. She's
No,
gonna get
this is
killed. They're
fucking-
gonna get killed. Who cares?
There's nothing in this trailer that makes me want to see this movie. Literally, who the fuck is this guy? Again,
Yeah,
everybody. The first movie, the villains were so fucking unlikable.
They're
because they
wild.
were
They're like
hideous. They were
swallowing
hideous.
bullets
Yeah.
with shots.
They were
and-
just drug addicts that
There's-
just went on a spree. That like there
well,
was
and that's
no
the thing.
redeeming qualities about them.
Okay,
No,
in
and
the
the look of
original
them.
comic book, Eric and Shelley's car breaks down on the side of the road. And these guys just drive by and they're like, well, I'm going to kill him. And, I can't say the other part to Shelley, but,
Right.
but you know what I mean? That's about as vile as it gets. On the other one, I was like, they're abusing people. I was like, they kill without remorse. I was like, this looks like a organized crime. This looks like The Crow versus The Sopranos. Like this doesn't look like
It's
the Crow.
this one.
that
It looks like they. It looks
they
like they
race
put a
swap
hit out
Shelley?
on him.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
did.
no,
That's
because
almost
she
as
even
It
So
looks
I
like they
think she
put a
even
hit
says
out on him with professional hitmen.
Shelley says something like, I owe him money or something like that. And it was
Oh,
like,
I saw something I wasn't supposed to see. Is what the fuck was that sound?
Was it The Crow 2024?
So this is basically
There's
them
loud
not
bang.
even adapting the original comic at all.
No.
This is them like
No.
making their own
I don't-
crap
I don't
up.
know what
Named
the
them
fuck this
anything.
is.
Yeah,
I would have
it's-
gone to see it
it's them-
happily had they
it's
not
them
named
taking
it
the-
Eric and Shelley, because it's not
Yeah,
that
it's
story.
them taking the characters and the Crow name and making up the rest. Like they do
Exactly
with
what they
everything
did with
else
Rings of
these days.
Power and Wheel of Prime and
So,
all that. They wanted the
Right.
name so they could bring in the people.
I
And
hate
they-
these
they
people.
think
The
they can
same
do
people who
better.
were arguing with me about the
Mhm.
Acolyte, going, the lore doesn't matter. I was like, the lore is the rules of the universe that it's set
Yes.
in. Okay, so
Yup.
if you're not going to abide by that, you might as well have Goku come in and save Luke Skywalker, because you're not telling a fucking Star
Sorry.
Wars story.
Or just
You are
name it
correct.
something else, or just say it happened in a different galaxy within the Star Wars universe, or
Yes, you could do so many
something.
things.
Like,
you
Stop
don't-
abusing my space wizards.
You're correct, but the
Where?
writing on it's going to be so bad. Even if they did adhere to the lore, it would still suck.
Yeah, no, it's going to be unrecognizable, and I love this. I did as the preview progresses, his mascara changes at different lengths. Like it,
It's just bad, dude. Like I said, I don't look forward to this in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to see it, so I'm not going to do a review of it. We'll
And
probably have some discussion about
his
box office and
tattoos.
shit like that, but I'm not going to see this movie.
yes, I like what Dempsey said.
His
It's not
tattoos
the
look
crow,
like-
it's the carrion bird.
His
Oh yeah,
okay.
The
His
tattoos
tattoos
look like somebody
tattoos-
took a pin and just
his
marked on him.
tattoos make him look like a juggalo.
He does. He
Yes.
does.
Yes, yes. You
Oh,
look
maybe
like
it is a
a-
Yes.
like
yeah,
story then.
like
Maybe-
a Juggalo wannabe.
Yeah.
And
so
I'm
the only
surprised
good
he
thing
didn't
that I
have
saw
damage
about it though
on his
was
forehead.
the only thing that I could say good is that he is jacked. It looks like he put in a lot of work to get into shape.
I think
And-
the actor is always one of those.
And
always in
some
shape
of
actors.
the violence looked good, like you just shotgun some dude to the face.
It's
So I was cool with that, but
Yeah.
the rest of it just I don't know. Maybe it's just a really bad trailer.
This is okay. So this, and
that's
I
the
hear
coolest
this,
if I ever heard it.
and I hear this in I hear this in our sphere all the time. You know, this is a remake that nobody asked for. Well, nobody asked for the first Crow film too, but we have it. We have it, and the '94 film was just, it's practically a at least in my opinion, it's practically a perfect film.
Yeah, I
And
agree with you.
I love the first film.
Yeah.
It's just something that should not be touched, and I don't care if someone had just acquired the rights. So let's do it. And it's like Matt said from the very start. Eric Draven is not the only Crow.
Yes.
Eric Draven is not the Crow. The Crow is the entity that brings people back. So you could have gone through a myriad of stories and told a different Crow story. But they went with
what they tried to do.
In the comics, they can't even see the Crow. The Crow is in Eric's head.
Right.
It's part of his damaged psyche. It's a reflection of himself.
Well, remember in the originals, the sequels, the bad sequels, but that wasn't Eric Draven either. They were trying to tell different stories, but they tried to tell it in such a formulaic way as the original film. They were basically trying to remake the original film, and that was gone. Now, so Alex Proyas, who directed the original Crow, has come out and spoken against this already. He's like, I don't want to, I don't speak against other artists, but there's always the but hanging in the air. He's like, that film was more than just a film; it was a legacy, and almost a memorial to Brandon Lee. And this shouldn't be. And even if we just take that out of it and look at it from a good story.
Shield, that was Shield.
What did you wait? What is that? Is that an Olive Garden in the film? Why would you say that?
Because
why
because Cannoli was like, I want to see a revenge film starring Roman, and and I was like, set in Olive Garden in the Fifth Element universe.
That's not a bad idea.
Fair enough.
I don't know why, and I don't even think this is going to be funny, but it looks especially with
the
that
Rock
skill
could play Roman,
of the Crow right there. I hope they give him like a shitty catchphrase, like "prepare to get yeeted."
Maybe he'll go call.
Maybe,
bro. That's the first thing we're going to talk about tonight was the Crow, and in this, I don't know how many fucking times I've brought this topic up. It's not just a couple. The lack of originality out of Hollywood. We've all discussed this. And I think it's when we were looking at the lineup for 2024, the things that were remakes, sequels, prequels, retellings of the same fucking stories drives me insane. There are literally millions of stories that you could find that haven't been told already.
Mm-hmm.
It's in a book. You could write your own shit. That'd be great too. You could write original things, or you can find one of the gazillion other good stories out there that hasn't been plastered on the screen 5 fucking times and give us that. But they can't do it. They can't even do that. They have to recycle a movie. They just can't. They can't just.
The good side to these remakes is. I'm glad Joe
Roman. This year, 4 theatrical releases for this entire year are not a remake or a sequel or a prequel. 4.
And that's it. That's
and
crazy. My God, Hollywood.
Since they're gonna suck, and then because of the era that they're in, they're not touching original stuff and ruining it. So
that's
I guess
that's
also
very.
thing
I'm just so sick of seeing these people fail upwards.
Right. But the other thing to consider, they keep talking about and of course I know the answer, but I'm still asking the question anyway. Why don't they talk about African mythology, make movies about that? There's tons of stories in Africa. There's tons of South American stories. There's tons of different stories from different regions that they could tell and make movies about.
They don't want to ruin their victimhood mentality of black people. The
Joker,
white
if you say Black Panther,
they want
to victimhood mentality.
2 things. They don't want to promote all mythologies or cultures or whatever. They want to destroy the dominant culture so they can replace it with Marxism. That's number 1.
I believe that too.
Yep. And 2, Netflix surprisingly has been have been doing what Mando wants, which like 3 Body Problem, for example. I just talked off the air. That dropped yesterday. That's based on a Chinese Little Language novel. There's other stuff like You know, we had the Yu Hakusho, which is a Japanese make that was pretty good, which not enough people watched. You know, that you can dive into Netflix and get some, or all the Korean stuff that came out through Netflix, right? You know, you can get stuff that Netflix of all people are actually supporting or bringing in. You know?
Yes, Joker.
Oh, I thought Joker locked up.
I thought he was just pretending to be an Indian.
I thought he was showing off his hand.
No. Like what Matt said. The basis of this is true, and this is the problem with these creatives in their, and it's why we see all the race swapping. This is why we see the gender swapping, because these Hollywood creatives in to promote the message only find legitimacy in white male characters. That is why you're seeing what you're seeing. So if they can replace if they can replace, as Matt said, the dominant culture, now they can move stuff in. This is why you get these creatives who get so up in arms
and
over when they make speaking of Netflix, when they make actual historical people the wrong skin color. I mean, I don't have to go any further than Anne Boleyn. Squeaka. We don't have to go any further than Anne Boleyn and Cleopatra. Actual documented historical people
fucking destroyed.
Right. But these
Netflix.
Right. Egypt suing
the country.
But actually, then these creatives are like, yeah, but what if? No, there is no what if.
It's not what if. This isn't the Marvel universe. Yeah. We're talking about real historical stuff. I also have a problem with it when we're dealing with established literary characters. You know, it is what it is. Come up with original characters. Eric July is doing exactly that with the Rippaverse. Yes.
Gyra.
So I mean, I know we're preaching to the party here, guys, but just so people understand the end game here, let's say they win and they take out all our existing lore or whatever. It doesn't happy end for them because it becomes like China. Like, for example, Tolkien's works in China are approved, published products. If you try to make Rings of Prime in China, you'd be called before a people's committee to answer for your crime to deviate from state-approved lore. You know what I mean?
I guess they didn't do everything wrong.
You know.
Speaking of wrong,
comb your beard again.
So the Acolyte trailer came out. I don't know.
So Yoda would be a hearty 800s, late 700s, early 800s here.
I hope he's just like a womanizer, right?
So this is 100 years before the prequel. So 100 years before Attack of the Clones, or not Attack of the Clones. Whatever the fuck stupid. The Phantom Menace, which was also a stupid name, but
that movie is not stupid. You bite your.
You know how there is as much as 20 minutes of good material between all the prequel movies. So then there's this though.
What? Yeah, that's not that much.
There's not even 20 minutes.
I will fight you too.
And I said this.
I know where you all
already know where it's going, simply from how the casting is.
Yes.
They're not going to have the black girl boss.
Where are all the aliens?
Be the villain. They're gonna go, no, she was slighted, and she says something stupid. It's like, it's not about power, it's about power.
Oh,
it's
not about power. It's who's allowed to wield it, which is immediately where it's going. If it's not going there, you guys played the wrong fucking line in your trailer, because now that's what everybody thinks it's going to be about.
And then when I was talking about that, I had these yahoos like, the lore doesn't matter as long as the story. It's like, shut up with your stupidity. No, that means that you're too stupid to watch the movies and figure out what the rules are for the universe. It was like, that's how we had Leia flying through space. Where she did Space Mary Poppins.
I just want to point out that line about who's allowed to wield the power, I think is actually even worse and more telling, because if I remember correctly, because I just watched this a few hours ago, it's not about good or evil. It's about who's allowed to wield the power.
That's
And
right.
this is
Yes,
just,
thank you.
they're
Yes.
continue to pushing forward this idea that in a universe that was based around the idea of good versus evil, there is
Yeah,
no
that
good
was the
or
whole
evil.
point.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
I
to your
couldn't
point,
think of a more significant dichotomy. Sith bad, Jedi good.
Well, here,
What's so
the Jedi
hard?
do not
Whoa,
wield
whoa,
power.
whoa, 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 whoa! In the first film from 1977, it says in the crawler, "The evil galactic empire."
There you go.
And the
Simple.
Jedi.
Well, from
do
my
not
point of view,
wield
the
power,
Jedi are
okay?
evil.
The Jedi
Yeah,
submit themselves to the will of the
Spot
Force
on,
and
Roman.
express the will of the Force. Okay, the
I hate
Sith
saying
wield
Leave
power
Anakin
in
alone.
an effort to dominate the Force.
Mhm.
Go back. real
That's the
quick,
philosophical difference.
Go back
Flawless
to the, little,
Hayden Christensen.
to the little kids in the thing, real quick.
Oh yeah. You said this.
Yeah,
Let's
that
put
one.
a
Yeah.
Kickstarter for this
The real
film.
question of this show that I need answered above all else is how does this when an alien close his eyes?
Yeah.
Right.
They close their eyes. That's all I really care about in the show. If they can explain that to me, I'm cool.
Poor little Dust Mite boy's like, I guess I can't be a Jedi. I
And-
can't close my eyes.
And there is, and right in this
Stupid
scene
Jedi.
here, right in this scene here, you get some jangling keys because the Jedi Master kind of says the same thing that Obi-Wan does when they were on the Millennium Falcon. Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. He says the almost
Right.
exact same thing. And gray Jedi do not exist.
Correct.
And here's
AJ.
another deep cut. That little monkey guy looks like one of the demiguise statues that you have to hunt down in Hogwarts Legacy.
Yes, it does.
What the guy in the back?
Looks
The little-
just
Yeah,
like it.
He looks like a little. He just needs to glow
Yeah.
green at night. And
That guy's asleep and he's not fooling anybody.
That was
yeah, exactly. It's like
that
the guy
was
playing
such a
Gallagher.
weird like fetch mission in that game because like the professor seems so like oddly perverted. He's like, I got these statues. I need you to
Now
find
this fight
them.
scene.
I
here,
can't look for them.
Oh,
I gotta pick
This
lock.
fight scene.
Find them for
This
me.
fight scene is like the Matrix in Star Wars.
It
universe.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, that's why they brought in Trinity.
Yeah.
Just because
And-
it's the same
and the
thing
Kung
because
Fu.
because
yeah.
Which,
I-
which
I've
was
had
the
folks-
Kung Fu?
because I have had folks
Using the dark
say-
side doesn't make you a gray Jedi. Okay, the dark side is the aspect of the Force that
That's what I
answers
was
to.
just typing, man.
It's the aspect of the
Guys,
All
Force
the
that
it
answers
doesn't
diversity.
to
matter
your
because
emotions.
Disney threw all that
Okay.
out. All that
That's
stuff
so
that we
funny.
like, they threw it out.
Okay, so you've got Carrie Ann Moss there, and I have had some folks say, "Oh my God, that scene looks so cool with her in it." I'm like, "Yeah, because she's done it before. There's nothing with that."
Yeah, nothing new for her in this.
There is also a problem with people wielding yellow lightsabers.
Yes.
Yellow lightsabers are reserved for the temple guard.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And anyone who wields a yellow lightsaber that is outside the temple was a former temple guard. So I'm having real problems with
Yeah,
trying to-
there's
they're
only
not-
one
they're not
blue
even-
lightsaber in that scene, and the blue is the most common. Those are like the warrior ones. The green ones means you're a little bit you're more into the Force. You're not,
Advocate
you know, it was like,
almost.
and the
Right.
yellow, yeah,
Diplomat.
you said the yellow was the temple guard. The
No.
only way you would see a crowd like that is if you had a full on attack on the temple.
Isn't
That's
this
correct.
based on like the towards the end of the High Republic era?
Oh, there's
It is.
Wakanda forever.
And so,
right
yeah,
there.
they've already thrown out the idea of any kind
Although-
of color consistency with lightsabers,
Sith
and,
lives matter.
they're already basing it on a wildly unsuccessful line of books and comics. So, what could go wrong?
They're not even going to address it. I'd be surprised if it's even mentioned or brought up, and they're just
No.
gonna
Go
do
back,
whatever.
Roman. Go back.
Why do they have
How many
all those
times are they
stupid
gonna try to
like,
make this
like
haircut
frilly hairstyles that you?
I was gonna say.
Like,
Well, that one chick looks like an Andorian or something.
Yeah, as I said, she's
Yeah.
got
Yeah,
those
of course,
horn nubs.
Guy's got his hair done like he's in High School Musical.
Yeah. Oh,
Wielding
emo.
a yellow.
So where
again,
in the
that's
temple are you
some of the
going to get your
styling.
hair did?
Yeah,
I mean, again, that's some of the styling that they've pulled
they're
from
such a drag.
character designs from High Republic.
Star Wars Breakfast Club.
Well, also, like, so being a Sith or a
AJ's full on
Jedi is
Revan.
a philosophy. You can be a Force wielder and, like, not follow either the Jedi or the Sith. You just may be a dark side Force user or a light side Force user. It doesn't, like, not everyone is either Sith or Jedi. There are Force users outside of those two ideologies.
Yeah, there's like the Night Sisters.
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way,
and that's
in
kind
Star
of what
Wars,
I think
in the
that
actual
we go
canon,
sorry,
not the
Matt.
garbage Disney has, I refuse to even, the Force manifests differently in every galaxy. Okay, so you'll be aware of that.
What are they saying? This is Frozen versus what? Kill Bill?
Kill Bill.
Like more like
Yeah.
Matrix, Matrix
which
meets
is
Breakfast
like-
Club or something.
You killed
Oh
my
my god, that was
baby.
so natural. I just noticed. See,
Yeah, that's weak sauce, Beard. Where's your yellow one at?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yo.
They never
Actually,
put
I
me
mean,
through
I
that.
think
that
the
nuance.
yellow
That's
lightsaber
what I
looks
really wanna see.
really cool. Like the
No.
rule of cool, sure, I think it looks cool. But as far as like within lore, it's the temple guards. Like,
Yeah.
leave it there.
Need
This
I
is-
get my
this is-
Vader's vault from my bar?
This is something that again, as and I know we keep bringing it up, but the media, Disney, the shills really want to overlook. This is from the mind, written, directed, showrun
oh yeah.
by the former personal assistant to Captain Casting Couch, who claims she knew nothing was going on.
Yeah, nobody buys that.
She looks like a
Yeah.
predator.
She does.
Exactly.
And here's the thing: if she
got that.
weren't such a horrible human, it's easy not to notice that. But she's a terrible person as well, and so she has the look of a terrible person.
She does.
It's
Like a
an
biker
odd-
dyke.
She looks
with
like a
hair.
lesbian Babe Ruth.
Yeah, like a biker dyke.
You just
That's
called her out.
that's strange. See, Joker, you look very.
But guys, remember,
um,
they made $12 billion.
No, they didn't.
where? How?
They pulled that
With-
number out
with-
of their ass.
Where did it go? How and how much did they spend though? That's the better question.
What was the
I
budget
know.
for this?
I know.
Another
I know.
150 million?
Spot on, AJ. Go libertarian. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, here we go. For the Force Awakens, the actual production spend, not marketing, the production spend was $667 million.
Ooh.
The Last Jedi was over $400 million. The Rise of Palpatine, $570
Yeah, that's crazy.
dollars.
But you got to remember, though,
Probably,
The Force
probably
Awakens-
did
Rise
not
of
make
Palpatine.
money.
The Rise
Force
of
Awakens.
Palpatine. Yes, it did. It did. Because it had a $2 billion box office. So with marketing, it needed to clear about 1.4 billion. So it made some money. The
The first one.
last one, right? The last Jedi barely covered. And
Yeah.
the rise of Palpatine lost about $200 million.
So where is this magic number they're
All
coming
you
up
need to
with?
do is
The
walk
Blair-
down a
the
toy
Blair
aisle. Walk
Yeah,
down a
you
toy
gotta-
aisle.
Oh, they don't
Yeah.
sell.
They
do
don't
not
sell. You know, it was like when I was a kid, there were certain toys you just couldn't find. It was like when you know how long I waited for the Darth Vader helmet to come out from the Hasbro Black series? Like, I mean, it took me a long time to track that down because people actually want it. I could get 25 Rose Ticos right now.
Please
Oh,
don't.
yeah. Easy.
I'll tell
Are
you
you
what
sure
you
Papa
can't
Ethan
get,
hasn't
though.
bought all the Rose Ticos to smash yet?
Oh my god.
That's going to be my prediction. I think
when
I
your
said it
action
before.
figures-
Rose is going to be the one to get, man, because no one bought it. That's going to be a
They
collector's
should
item.
think when the action figures of these characters they've made up wind up in the dumpster behind the store,
Yeah.
you should really wonder maybe we shouldn't make this crap.
But the thing is, they don't care. They're ideologically driven. That's the point.
Mhm.
I see them in thrift
Yeah,
stores
yeah.
in the package.
Now,
Yeah, for $1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Joker.
remember a day. And probably Shield remembers this. Blair probably remembers this. Matt and Roman probably remember this. That if you didn't see a toy if you didn't see a Star Wars toy in the toy, I know it was for one of two reasons. One, it was sold out, or two, it was a mail-in proof of purchase.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Kenner did
Right.
that for the original
right.
one. It was like they gave him an IOU. So
Yes.
these kids got a
So-
little coupon. For
I had that. That was me.
Yeah.
That was
I got
me.
a
I'm
Admiral
not knocking
Akbar
it,
that
but that's
way.
crazy.
I sent in
You had
the
the Admiral
purchase-
Akbar?
Yeah, before the movie came out, the third one. I had one of
Oh,
those mailing
wow.
things.
It's a trap.
So-
Did you get it out of a magazine or off of another toy?
You bought Star Wars toys, and you got some
Yeah,
proof
and you
purchases.
send in
you
a little
send in.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
But
I thought you were saying you got a coupon.
That was my
No.
biggest
Yes,
gripe
JT.
with the last
Mail-in
Jedi.
bride?
You know, they had that brilliant plan of, hey, let's run out of gas.
It's funny.
And they had Admiral Akbar in that movie, but they had purple hair lady who, you know.
Oh,
and
I gotta hate
why
it.
her
would you
so
have the
much.
guy
I
who's
fucking hate her
notoriously
so
known
much.
for identifying traps? Trap somebody.
Oh.
Why wouldn't you do that?
And
Oh,
I'm sorry.
anyway.
I'm sorry, but the concept of fuel doesn't work in space.
No, it doesn't.
I know, Mando.
None of that
No.
shit works.
Whoever
No, they
wrote that
fucked
didn't
it
know
up.
what the fuck they were doing.
I
And
love
then-
the part where
Mando,
she
Mando, you
goes
okay
up and
there,
does the
girl?
boss move, right?
Mando,
She has to hike
sweetie,
her
okay?
dress up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Blair, you're exactly right. I was like, where the fuck is their uniform? If she's an
When Poe is yelling at her, my buddy who I went to go see the movie with goes, even the movie doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
it does it, and then it has that whole weird like go to the casino and the poor animals and racetrack crap. It's like
Yeah.
you got the whole fleet's gonna die.
I groaned.
Fuck the
I
kid
would've cut
slaves.
that out of it.
Release the animals. Yeah.
okay,
Right.
so
Okay.
and
Yeah.
then for the Canto Bite thing, okay, Ruin Johnson, we get it. You don't like capitalism, says the director who's being paid millions of dollars by $1 billion company.
No, I love
Yeah,
that.
pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, that's to him. That's not capitalism. That's his right as one of the liberal elite to get that money.
And
I,
he's
uh,
insufferable with the interviews. Did you see that post interview where they were like, hey, the movie's out. There's been some criticisms, Mr. Johnson.
I don't care.
Looking back, would you have changed anything? He was like, nope,
Nope.
perfect movie. And I was like, I'm going to strangle you, you Ed Sheeran looking.
Yeah, he just
Fucking
any premise they set up in the first movie, he destroyed
Well,
in that second one.
I don't
And
want
I
to.
read the Duel of Fate script. I didn't hate it as much as I did
Hey.
Rise of Skywalker or Rise of Palpatine.
I don't want to. I don't want to sound like I'm praising J.J. Abrams overly, but he had a plan for that trilogy, right?
right.
And when he's and Kathy Kennedy was like, "Oh yeah, I got this guy who can do what you want for that second film. You come back to third film." He said he had a month of meetings with me and Johnson. We went over. As soon as he left, Kennedy and Johnson threw out everything he had planned and made Last Jedi.
It's
so much
obvious
so
that
Well,
they did
that
that.
Abrams refused to come back for the third, but Iger forced him to come back.
because Colin Trevorrow, who was already tapped to do the third film, is reading what's going on, and he went to Ryan and it's like, look, this you can't do this and you can't do this because I need them for my film. And Ryan's like, no, sorry, I'm doing my film because I am an auteur.
Walking
then
the set
so-
like he's dressed in a fucking
And
Wes
then,
Anderson
if
film.
Right,
you
and so
follow-
and so then Kathy's like, you're not talking to Mr. Johnson that way. So he got shit canned, and then Frank stepped in and said, look, I know my wife is a cunt. Here's a Jurassic World film, kid. Here you go.
And then when JJ came back for the third movie, his first plan was to use time travel to wipe the whole thing out. So when Luke did that fade at the end, he was gonna have Luke time travel back to the beginning before the movie essentially and wipe it out. Like that was what he wanted to do, and he got vetoed by
That would have been better.
Iger.
That would have been
That
better.
would have been
But
better.
anyway,
They could have
They're gonna have Ray
decanonized
go
all
back in
that.
time and become the Force, so the Force is true.
But in
All right,
true
so
Kathleen
onto-
Kennedy form,
I'm just gonna
with-
stick to my
with the act-
MMORPG SWOTOR and just that's my Star Wars.
Mando looked
They-
like she ate a bug.
Well, 'cause that's what it feels like
In
with
true
this other
form.
Star Wars stuff. I'm just gonna stick
in
with my
true
old stuff.
form, in true form of Kathleen Kennedy, we can guarantee in the Acolyte that they're gonna put a chick in it and make
Oh.
her lame.
Lame and
And
gay.
gay.
I got a
Yeah,
question.
oh,
for,
without
Or
question.
Lizzo's gonna make a comeback.
I got a
without a
question
doubt.
for Beard of
Oh,
Liberty.
don't you say such things, man! No.
There will
He's gonna play
there
Jabba
will
the
be
Hutt.
there will be people there will be people skewered with lightsabers and survive.
Oh,
Yes.
exactly. Yes, everyone's
Yeah, well, women.
everyone is gonna get skewered, and it's gonna just be a
Your-
big old roast.
Sides
It's gonna
would
be fabulous.
vaporized.
I got a question
And
for
at
Beard
this
of Liberty.
point,
Yes,
You're killing Papa, kids.
he has all those
Oh.
lightsabers, but do
this
you
point-
have a Reva lightsaber? That's the one you want.
Oh.
That was great. Do you remember when Hasbro was like,
You can-
"Hey, we're putting in orders," and no one wanted one.
No one
Yep.
wanted. Yeah,
No
it's
one
like you
took
like,
it.
don't
No,
figure. Please don't make this figure.
pass.
So here's something. This I think we are. I watched an interview with the director on this today. His heart genuinely seems to be. Thank you, son. See, my son Jake of the Empire bringing me another bit of whiskey here. In the right place, what he wants to do with
That a
this.
boy.
I got
He's
it.
been
God
working
abuse.
with Cameron and with Ridley Scott. They both saw screenings of the movie and they liked it. Now, both of them admittedly are not what they
No,
were,
is
but they were such
this is a
important
movie?
figures in the franchise. Yes, this is a movie.
okay.
Tim,
You
no.
thought it was a
Tim,
TV show?
no, Tim. No,
Yeah.
Tim.
And so this is fuck off. This takes place 20 years after the original film. So it's between Alien and Aliens. The Romulus refers to part of the space station that they are working on. It's kind of two halves. There's an older part of the station, which is Remus, and a newer part of the station, which is Romulus. So that's where Romulus comes into this. But he wants to bring. He said he wanted to bring back the horror element of Alien. Wanted to bring back the claustrophobic feeling of no escape. And I have again. When I hear things like that, like I said, I watched probably a 20-minute interview with the director today. I like his track record as well. I enjoyed Evil Dead. I thought it was a very fun and interesting and really fucking horror driven film. It didn't have the funny elements of that the other Evil Dead films had, but I like I said, I'm probably going to be wrong. I don't want to be wrong though. I want there to be an interesting movie that I can like.
None of us want to be wrong.
As
Mm-hmm.
as this franchise goes. He also, now it's kind of funny because in the interview he said they used practical effects as much as they could, but then I watched the
Good.
trailer and there's an awful lot of CGI in it. Now I wish they hadn't done CGI facehuggers, which these obviously are.
Oh,
Well,
I
and-
wish they
and-
had done.
Well,
So,
let
but
me,
he-
let me say this though.
the
At least it
facehuggers,
has
man.
some damn aliens in it
yeah.
that are aliens
Yeah.
instead of that Prometheus horse crap.
Yeah.
Prometheus
Well-
was weird, dude.
Uh,
Oh, whoa.
I just
Yeah,
want to
that
point
was-
out you can't trust people that say that they use
show right there.
you can't trust people when they say they use as little CG as possible or no, because like it came out that Barbie was editing their behind the scenes to make it look like the sets were actually there when it was just a green screen. So their behind the
Oh,
scenes
wow.
were produced to have CGI put into it so they could have this idea all across the board, even behind the scenes, that the sets were actually built out when most of them actually weren't. So when I hear somebody,
Living in
and
the
they
worst
said they
timeline.
didn't use any CGI. So, just because somebody says
They
they use a
lied.
bunch of practical effects, you don't know until you see the end product.
You're right. You're right.
This
Does
is
anybody
good,
recognize this
although
piece
I-
of weaponry that the
Hey,
girl was
zombie
holding?
man.
I mean,
And-
this looks like an alien
It looks
aesthetic.
pretty legit. And then
I'm not
we
gonna
get
lie.
this little
Aliens,
shot at the
when
end
I
here.
was a kid, Alien was the thing that I was like scared of. Like,
terrified.
Like I
This-
saw
Alien
that.
was great.
I
yeah.
saw that movie
This looks
way
good.
too young, and like the face hugger scene, I probably have arachnophobia because of the face hugger.
Luke, you're right. Luke, you're right.
And you know what I mean. Even seeing them pour out of that that hatch like that, it kind of gave me chill. I want to feel that. I like this stuff. I was like, I didn't get into pop culture to always hate on it.
So
Stop
you know
being
what
mad.
do you know what the director didn't talk about during the interview or in this interview?
His genitals.
I think it's in Vanity. He
Diversity?
didn't talk about diversity. He didn't talk about gay rights. He didn't talk about how women need more of a place in filmmaking. He talked about how he wanted to make a scary fucking alien movie. He talked about how the VFX were so important to him that he shot the VFX himself as far as the directing went. He was doing puppeteering stuff himself. He got involved in as much of the filmmaking. He really wants this to be a good alien movie.
Okay,
So I'm crossing my fingers here. I am. I just because you don't know, you know.
Okay, I can respect that, and I will. I have not. With the exception of the most recent couple Alien franchise films, Aliens are kind of standards. These are where the standard are. If this is set like in between that time frame, okay, you're playing in the right area. I don't think this film really needs to be made, but I'm willing to give this a look. And to be quite honest, if the director, if I'm directing something in the Alien franchise, the last two people I'm gonna go talk to are Ridley Scott and James Cameron. At this point,
yeah, Ridley Scott is off of his rocker, man. Like
He hasn't made a
I've
good
been
movie since The
watching-
Martian.
I've been watching alien movies all my life since I was a kid. I really don't look forward to another 30 years of watching alien movies while I'm on this planet. Just let this die. You know
what, Blair, I don't disagree with you on this, because as I went on my tangent earlier about original material, I agree with you. I agree with you. This movie 100% did not need to get made.
I just have a feeling
you're
it's
right.
going
It
to
didn't need to
be
get made.
it's going to be Alien Isolation in Space, which is a video game.
I like that game.
Yeah, it's just going to be
so. But just like Joker said, though, they made it though. It's out there, just like the fucking Crow.
Tim, that's a bad take there, sir. No. No.
Why?
No.
So,
Tim, why are you doing this to us?
I agree with Dempsey.
Like I said, we get to that final frame in this trailer, and it looks like practical effects Alien. That doesn't look like CGI Alien. Maybe it's good CGI Alien, but it looks like practical effects Alien, like in Alien, the first one.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
She doesn't look like a horse.
Space horse.
Brooker. So that's something I hope is going to be good, but I don't know. But I agree with you 100%, Blair. It didn't fucking need to be made either. We have two good Alien movies, and we have a whole bunch of terrible Alien movies, and then we got Aliens versus Predator movies. Fuck my life. Yeah, Joe.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about there.
More than I like.
I just wanted to. Now you highlighted my comment there. I was responding to Subtle, who earlier today I posted that I am less than 900 hours away from getting monetized. So if anyone wants to hop over onto my stream as well and just kind of boost some hours here, I'm not going to say no.
Or just, like during your free time at work or something, pull up a tab with his channel, make a playlist, and then just put it on repeat.
I'll spam the shit out of you, Joker.
Oh, all right. and four away from 600.
Wow, sweet. Nice job,
yeah,
buddy.
I got 19 followers. I don't have a single video on my channel yet.
It's pretty good.
AJ's comment there.
Yeah. My channel with
Yeah.
no videos has like 20 followers, and my channel with a bunch of videos has. Like
I believe it's probably right.
Ben 10,
Yeah.
My sci-fi is Ben 10. I remember Ben 10 from when my kids were little, but I don't remember much about it. I know he had like a magic amulet thing that
an omnitrix
my cousins
that
were
had the
really into
DNA of several alien species that he could turn into. I was a fan of the show.
I want that too, Tim Stock.
Tim, we're getting that. He's fighting Jake Paul this summer.
Bro, I am like, that
You
has
know
just
what?
filled my news feed, and I am excited to see Mike
he's gonna
Tyson
kick the
just
shit
murder
out of him.
someone.
Did you
Wow.
see his
Jake
training
Paul.
video? It was terrifying.
Well, Tyson
Yes.
is still in shape.
Tyson
Tyson
looks
is still
fucking
in shape, but he's like almost 60. So
Now,
It doesn't matter.
Jake Paul is a legit boxer. People don't forget this.
Yes, he is.
Well,
is.
sure, like he is, yes, but Mike Tyson isn't just like training. He's like from the videos that I've seen, he looks like
yeah,
he looks like he's
Paul
ready to throw
fights
down.
March.
He is
He
training
fights
like
Mi-
Sarah Connor in Terminator 2.
Yes.
Tyson's always trained that way, though. He's always been in that type of shape.
Paul always fights his mixed
Just for a
martial arts
couple
guys,
years,
and they
Don
can't
King had a
wrestle
hold of him.
or do anything else, so they got to punch, and he's always going to be better than them.
And then
They
he
can't
did face
do-
an actual boxer and got his teeth knocked in. So
I say if Tyson just needs one punch.
Isn't
Exactly.
but isn't Jake Paul? Isn't he on the juice or not?
no, not as far as I'm aware of.
How tall is
But I
Jake
will say
Paul?
this.
He's
But I
a
will say
little
this.
taller than Tyson.
Okay.
But I will say this: that his brother Logan Paul has taken to the WWE like a duck to water. That guy's a natural.
Yeah, the Paul
Oh,
brothers are
yeah,
legit
he's-
athletes.
they
They're
were-
legit athletes.
They were
Yeah.
showmen. They just kind of did stupid shit. They shouldn't have gone in like the suicide forest and
Oh,
they
yeah.
went, whoa.
Speaking
People
of
do
stupid
kill
things,
themselves. Patty
Is this
Jenkins.
happening? I mean,
Yeah,
this hasn't been
yes,
officially announced from Lucasfilm, though.
This is
No,
just one of
no.
those things where they say, "Okay, Patty, we'll pay you $100,000 to work on this project and see if it becomes anything."
you think they're just
All
going to pull the
business.
plug?
Yeah, there's
This
at
is-
least
okay,
50
these
of those
are-
type of projects going because Disney thinks they're
Okay.
rolling in money.
Okay, so a little thing on Hollywood talk here, and folks get all excited because
I'll just play the video game.
because when folks were talking
Agreed.
about Dave Filoni's movie, it's in development. There are a million projects that are
Okay,
in
right.
development in Hollywood. That means
Development hell. That's where they can go to. They're never
Yeah.
going to be. It's
The interesting thing was though, and we all know this. I mean, she had the movie, then '84 came out, and they're like, Patty,
no.
not.
It-
And
no, that is not what caused it. It was her the meltdown about the third film. That's what caused the plug to get pulled.
Well, so for Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84, the original Wonder Woman film, they told they weren't allowed to use her script for it or whatever, right? Then the script she wanted to use for Wonder Woman 84, they let her use, so it sucked, and that led to the Wonder
it
Woman
did.
3 problem, like Joker was saying, right? And the same thing happened on Rogue Squadron. They learned basically she sucks as a writer. Okay,
she
And-
does.
Yeah, she's like she's like Dave Filoni. If someone's in control of what she's doing, you can get a good product out of it. But let them be their own creative person, and they suck. They just suck.
like George Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a good
I mean,
director.
No,
But-
they had there was a lot of times where people had to talk him out of doing some really stupid stuff.
He came out and said some dumb fucking things this week as well,
Yes,
though.
he sure did.
He's fucking
which-
old.
He's part of that
Yeah.
rich people class who ally with rich people and want to keep their
Right?
money
Yeah,
down.
making magic isn't easy. It shouldn't be up to the amateurs or some fucking bullshit.
Have you fucking seen
George,
what's
It's like,
going
yeah,
on lately?
considering you started out as an amateur, dickhead.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's not that way,
He's so far removed from Star Wars, from A New Hope.
That's,
From where
that's
he
the
started-
closest I've heard to let them eat cake in the modern.
Bruh. Besides Kellogg's like, let them eat cereal. So that to me is the closest to let them eat cake.
Yeah,
But,
that was kind of it was a fucked up thing. So
Hey, if
Yeah,
were-
when I
were
saw-
French, I would say, "Give me the cake." Yeah.
Well, also, so like not really defending George, but kind of like, I guess for me, like I understand some of the resentment that George has towards the fans because he was attacked hard for the prequels. And I think a lot of it was unjustly attacked. And so he finally was just like, fuck all of you. I'm done.
Think it was 100% justified.
So I
100%
skipped school
justified.
to go
100%.
see
I
Revenge of the
fucking hate
Sith.
scenes.
And there's that scene at Padme's funeral where like Jar Jar Binks like puts his head down for a second. There was this big fat guy behind me, and the second Jar Jar came on the screen, he goes, "Boo!"
All the problems with the prequels could be blamed on Steven Spielberg. Lucas went to Spielberg and said, "Hey, bro, I don't want to direct these films. I want to be the producer and some writing and special effects and whatever. Can you direct at least the first one?" And Spielberg says, "No, these are your babies, George. You got to be in total control and direct all three of them." And Spielberg convinced him to do it.
Oh.
And we got. And
Thanks, Spielberg.
I don't hate the prequels. I think they're okay movies. Obviously, not as good as the originals or even Rogue One, for example. But it's sometimes when you got a guy who there are some people who just need others participating on the team.
Yes.
Well, that's
I
he got
yes,
rid of everyone
obviously.
who told him no. And that's like when you watch all the behind the scene things, they are just licking his boots. They're like, yeah, Jar Jar, great, yeah.
Did you see the meme where he's like in, George Lucas and the first original 3 movies? He's in a room full of models and props and all that, and then for the next 3 movies, he's just alone in a green screen room.
Yeah,
that was him. He was just in love with that, and nobody could tell him no. No.
And did you guys see that clip of him when he's watching The Phantom Menace for the first time? He's like, I have to edit this. It doesn't make sense. And you're like, yeah.
Isn't the line is I fear I may have gone too far this time?
Yeah, something like
You ever see the College Humor skit before they went crazy of where George Lucas was in prison for 30 years?
No,
I'll put a link to it in somewhere. So
all I remember is Mr. Plinkett reviews blew me away.
I love Mr. Plinkett.
But yeah, I think that I can understand why George would be a little bit vengeful towards I
can understand from his. In fact, I sound like fucking Anakin Skywalker right now. From his perspective, I understand why he feels that way, but he's wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I killed them all, even the women.
No, actually, I mean, the Anakin Skywalker. I use the Anakin Skywalker model for most places in the world right now. That's the way I look at it. Not just the men,
and
the women, and children too.
I will gladly go back to the Lucas, even if it was bad, because it's night and day better. Because that's another argument people use online though. Well, you were probably making fun of the prequels, and was like, I was, but I still love those movies.
Yeah,
there are degrees. There are degrees of bad. There are.
Trailer.
Yes.
I just linked it in the private chat.
Joker's the only one.
There's a difference between a sunburn and stage 4 skin cancer.
Yes.
True. Joker.
So has anyone heard? I'm sure we've all heard that Lucas is now backing Iger. George himself.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
That's this.
Well, okay. Well, the Valiant Renegade did some digging. He and Jonas Campbell, and does that statement that came from Lucas? Does that sound like how Lucas speaks?
Oh, you're saying the reptile got him?
Well, it sounds very canned. It sounds very corporate.
Hostage. I'm a hostage. Please help me.
Yeah.
because of this. Someone who
How about you, my friend?
Backed,
yes.
Well, someone who else backed Iger was the president and CEO of Chase Bank.
Oh, fuck.
Who sits on the board right next to him at Chase Bank? George Lucas's wife.
Oh yeah,
the ex-wife.
No, his present wife.
Oh.
So
if only Harambe would have lived.
So
I know that changed everything.
So this sounds like that his wife is, George is up in age. He's not in the best of health. So it's not uncommon for someone to have other folks take care of their finances and take care of their estate and all those other things. This is probably
he has
her
looked like Wilford
speaking.
Brimley for the last 30 years.
And this is
He's not a fit
this
man.
is probably
No, he's not.
this is probably her speaking for George as if it is George, but it doesn't feel like George. So
I got it.
I could totally see that because he's got that really meek voice. He's like, "Help me, my balls are in a vice." And if my wife lets me out of the bedroom,
I just want to make some more.
There may be some sort of financial agreement when he did the sale that he has to, for 30, 20 years or whatever, not bitch too much
Has
about
to say
it.
nice things about fucking Disney and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yep.
that.
it's like, you guys remember the movie Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
There's things that like I can identify. That Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's like pointing at the TV. There's lines in there. I was like, George Lucas definitely fucking wrote that. Like, there's this part where Jennifer Connelly goes, "Well, come on, feet," and she starts walking. I was like, that's a George Lucas right there.
If it sounds stupid, it's probably George Lucas. That's how you can usually tell George Lucas.
So
is right.
corny.
So
Spinning, that's a neat trick.
Oh God, that was
Stop it. So, but when a line is said by Jennifer Connelly, I'm not hearing words at that point.
It's okay. Yeah, I didn't even know she had a fucking head for the longest time. So there's nothing that screams confidence in your series. Like, I don't really think you can set out to please the fans of anything.
God.
Says ESG.
You totally
Dude,
can though.
Stop. This is the newest hotness. This is my
Then
show.
please
is going
don't
to
make something
suck.
that you know is gonna piss off the fans.
Yes.
Do something else.
And so this is Chris Nolan's
No,
brother.
this is
Jonathan Nolan,
ESG.
which is like,
This is ESG.
Oh, the guy who
Shrinker.
coined the phrase,
I can't make it
you
for the
either
fans.
die a hero or live long enough to
Yeah,
See
yes,
yourself
his brother.
become the villain.
Don't
Yep.
become the villain. I know, it's a wonderful line. Good film.
so here we have Fallout, which was an incredibly popular video game series. If you have kids or you are kids, you have probably played it.
I
Listen to
played
the
all of them.
soundtrack. What is it? Fallout, something, the Fallout baby. Oh God, I don't remember. My son used to play the song on repeat, which used to drive me fucking insane, but neither here nor there. I thought the trailers for this looked pretty good. I like Walton Goggins. I loved him in Justified. He's the voice of what's his face, the weird long-haired pale guy in Invincible. He's a fun actor. And so I was looking forward to seeing him in this. I'm vaguely familiar with the Fallout story because of watching my son play the games. I never played them myself. But when you get
Boyd Crowder.
yeah. What's that? Yeah, Boyd Crowder.
Boyd Crowder. Yeah.
But also from Invincible. He's the weird. I forget what his name is. The white-haired guy with the scar on his face in
Cecil.
the animated series. Cecil. Thank you.
But
when the
I
director,
was never
I really
invested in
hate-
the games enough to go to really get pissed off about this. So
No,
I really
well,
hate
no,
the
no, I didn't
copying
care
of
about-
Iron
I want-
Man's helmet.
did that down here. Here's
Yeah,
the thing,
that's
though.
not
No,
more
I'm
accurate. Nowhere in the games does a helmet ever do that.
Well,
and
it's
again,
on
I'm not
now with
invested in the
helmets.
games though,
You have
so
a helmet
I'm not
that
looking
has
at it from even the hi, Miss Martin, from the
Triple
video
M.
game accuracy perspective. I was looking at it from just purely entertainment perspective, like we did with The Last of Us. I didn't play the games on
Last of
that
Us.
either, but I there was
Right.
good and bad of that series. This I was just hoping it'd be something fun to enjoy, but again, as soon as the director drops a bomb like this, it already puts me in bias mode when I watch it.
Yeah.
Because I'm going into it thinking, oh, this is going to be a cool thing, and then the director's like, well, I don't make things to entertain the fans, and he's later more in the articles like you have to make things, for yourself.
DOA already.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Hold
It's like,
on,
fuck, dude.
hold on. If someone says in the entertainment world that I don't do this to entertain the fans, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
That's kind of your whole
Fiction.
fucking point.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
don't write music for people.
I feel like that was something that like these avant-garde provocateur directors used to say like in the 70s. And now
Yes.
everybody thinks that they need to talk that way. But it was like those guys were never making Fallout. They were never making these big franchises. They were
Mass
making,
appeal type stuff.
yes, they
Mass
were
appeal
making they were making things, you know, like
art house. Art
yeah,
house films.
yeah, exactly. So it was like, so you can't talk like that out of both sides of your mouth where, hey, let's take this franchise that everybody loves and then in the same veil go, I hope my fans hate it. I didn't make it for you. I made it for me. Like,
then write fan fiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a stupid statement. It's kind of a fool's errand to try to figure out how to make other people happy. Is it?
No.
I don't
Get
think
out of the entertainment sphere. That's the whole point of entertainment.
Okay,
Entertainment is to entertain other people.
What if I worked at Subway and I said, I don't make sandwiches for you to enjoy? I would be fired immediately.
Then
you wanted a old Italian style? Well, I gave you a hot dog with some spit on it. Enjoy, kid. Like,
no, I mean, this
We're
is
a car
also,
company.
This is also.
Here's a Pinto. We didn't make it for you.
Then explain to me why Top Gun Maverick did what it did, and why Tom Cruise and why Tom Cruise says at the beginning of the film before you actually see the film, he's talking. It's like, we made this for you, to thank you.
Yeah, you made a film that you knew the fans would like. It's not fucking hard. It's not.
Right. And even
don't insert your bullshit.
And even though it didn't do as well as they expected, the Mission Impossible film, he's cutting promos of him just jumping out of a plane saying, "Hey, we're making a film. Hope you like it. Bye."
I thought the last Mission Impossible was okay, just a little too long, a little too much.
Right.
Like,
I haven't seen past the third one, to be honest.
Well,
there's a lot of
third one and four are the ones that are good. The first one.
Do you guys think this will be as bad as Halo, or if it'll be a little bit better?
So I don't think you can mess up Fallout a little bit, but I don't think you can mess it up as much as Halo, because like Halo has a specific storyline that has already been told, whereas Fallout it's post-apocalyptic. Like
yeah, and it's also kind of a different game. It's an open world game. You can kind of
you can play
it
around
at your
with
own
it.
pace. So there's plenty of things you can do with it. Halo, it has like a different storyline. It's a little bit more plugged in. And another thing that we didn't bring up is, you know who's doing the exact same thing and is like a lore freak? Henry Cavill seems to be really doubling down on this Warhammer, and he's saying stuff that we want to hear. Like, I love these games. I want to make this for the fans.
Well, to be fair, what's his fuck? Whoever Jonathan Nolan, not Chris Nolan. Sorry, Chris Nolan. I don't mean to throw you in with this mix. Said that he was a big fan of Fallout 3. Again, okay. But then you say something like this, like, you have a script, you have a game, you follow the script, or at least adapt it enough, which some things you just have to make it work enough because it doesn't necessarily transfer over to the screen the same way. So, Joker.
I was going to say this. So, in regards to, say, The Last of Us or the Witcher series, I'm not a gamer, so I know nothing about these stories. I know nothing about these worlds, but I could tell right from like in like 2 episodes of watching The Witcher season 1, I can tell girl boss. This is not about the central character. Last of Us, we saw.
Boy,
Roman and I did not play the game, but we could pick things out, and it was just message.
Well, we also
message,
knew when
message,
something
message.
went sideways, and that something was
yeah.
this. Good evening. My name is Bill. I don't always drink wine and shoot fungal zombies, but when I do, I like to have Apothic Rosé, the official pairing wine of the fungal zombie apocalypse. Well, I hate to drink and go shoot, but duty calls.
That's still
episode-
better than the whole TV series.
So-
That's still better.
I'll still never forget that episode where they have Bills. Which I did think it had its moments, but the most selfish thing that I ever heard is when the dude finally decides he's gonna kill himself, and he goes,
Yeah,
"You love me, then love me the way
I
that I
have a
want you to love me."
I went on a
Like,
whole
that's not how
tirade
love
about
works.
that very
The
specific.
best episode, the best episode of The Last of Us is when the birth of the Scissor family happens.
The Last of Us, we will always thank you for the birth of the Scissor family.
Some of us will thank you. Others.
Well,
Not-
talking
not-
about things that we saw that no, like I never read Wheel of Time. I didn't even really know anything about it. But within the first episode, I know there's no way that
Lord.
book was a bestseller written
Yeah.
the way that they were showing it in the show.
That
I
was
was
like
like,
stranger's
it was-
dick on your forehead bad. That was terrible stuff.
And you know what?
Terrible.
Even if I'm not
Within
familiar
first 10
enough
minutes
with
of
it,
that show.
when I talk to people who are diehard fans with, I'm going to side with them, even if I like it, what I'm watching, because when they go, "Oh no, they didn't stick to it," it was like, I'm siding with the fans, man. It was like, we're the ones paying the money.
It was just terrible. You could tell that who the main character was supposed to be and who they wanted it to be.
Oh, they butchered
I
those
hate when
characters
they do that.
so badly. I read the first. It's like 13 fucking books, and I started worrying I was going to
I actually
die,
have
so
the
I
whole
stopped
series
reading
now,
it.
and I'm going to be reading it soon.
Mrs. of the Empire
Nice.
has all of them in hardback. She has the
one
entire
second.
hardback collection.
One second.
The big, thick fucking things.
Mando, there's a prequel
Plot
which
was
you
an
may or
abortion.
may not have. You shouldn't read it until you're at least 6 or 7 books in.
What is the title?
A New Spring.
I have that one. Okay.
Yeah, wait, because it will spoil.
Not to be
events that for the
confused
first
with
4
Irish
books.
Spring.
So
Delightful soap.
I do
so
just want to
let's-
quickly throw
Yes,
I'm
go
gonna
out
put
for
forward, by the way.
as we kind of a final call on the Fallout show. They're already stepping into some dangerous territory because it has the aesthetics of Fallout 4, made by a guy who's a fan of Fallout 3. And it looks like it's based on the story of Fallout 1. And that's where the problem comes, because Fallout 1 and 2 were made by, I think it's ZeniMax, a totally different company. And then Bethesda got them and changed the format completely. So you've already got a division between the fans there. So this was always going to be a dangerous property to make. So I kind of understood his statement of you can't please. It would be better if he said you can't please everybody, because that makes a lot more sense.
That's the
I'm
word
not
he should have
making it
used. He said you can't please
Right.
everyone.
But he's already got like too many different things mixing together.
Frankly, he should have just left it alone and let the product come out. And he could have talked about many other things. He could have talked about, man, we really like the way the show looks. There's a million other things he could have talked about the show instead of shitting on his product. He was
Well,
like,
when you-
"Hey, here's my product. Wait, watch."
When you start saying stuff
and then
like
he
that,
shits on it.
to me that's already trying to apologize for the woke
Exactly.
edit or
Right.
or DI or something that's going to just make people mad because
They're
it's-
front loading the excuses.
Well,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they know it's gonna.
Yes.
It
Hedging
kind
their
of makes
bets.
me wonder, are they being apologetic because the studio's forcing them to put that shit in there? Or but a lot of these guys out there, Hollywood is its own bubble. A lot of these people
Yeah, that
really
much
do
is certain.
believe this nonsense.
Well,
So it's a really fine line to walk. But yeah, studio interference is another huge problem where
Executive interference.
executive interference. Thank you. I mean, it's terrible. I mean, I still
Chris
up to
Stuckman-
this day wouldn't think it
Chris-
would be a good movie, but like David Ayer's Suicide Squad would be like a great example of that. It was like, oh, you have this dark movie about like prisoners with bombs in their neck, make it funny like Deadpool. I was like, what?
Or like the Hobbit trilogy. They begged They realized they messed up, and they were like, "Please, please help us! Please, we messed up!" And
Fucking Hobbit.
well, like I actually, my friend Beth Kuhn, she's reading the book right now, and she watched the movie. She's like, "I like the movies." I'm like, "Here's the book," and she's like, "Oh,
by the way,
the movies suck."
If you go sailing the high seas, there is a fan edit of the Hobbit trilogy that cuts it down to
Does it work?
Yes.
Does it cut all the bullshit out of it?
M4 cut, right?
As much as they possibly could. There's two of them.
Oh,
I watched two.
Is it the M4 cut?
They both have people's names on them, so I don't remember. It was
no. I'd like to see that because there are aspects of the Hobbit, much like the prequels, that I thought worked fine. But then there's all this other weird random shit. I'm like, who's that big fucking albino?
Can you pull up that clip?
The whole
Ian McKellen crying and freaking out in the green screen room.
Yeah.
Poor Ian McKellen.
So
and
I'm just throw this in here.
The stupid
real fast.
elf dwarf love triangle.
Oh
no,
yeah.
No.
The barrel riding scene.
No,
oh, that was
like,
terrible.
Are they turning this into a theme park?
Yeah, it was terrible. Also,
setting up a ride.
The 30 minutes wasted while they melt gold to pour on a dragon that doesn't do anything anyway.
Yeah,
I was like, what are they doing? Why is this even... Just have the dragon freaking fly out of the cave and burn the town. I don't need to sit here for another 30 minutes in a crap movie watching them burn.
If it was two movies, it would have been fine. The third, dragging that into a third movie,
and then
not a long
garbage. The whole thing was trash. Like they're gonna
Roman's head is gonna explode, guys.
Because we're dwarves, we got to sneak into the town.
So much, guys.
Yet orcs are gonna run
Roman's
across
having
the
heart
rooftops
palpitations. We got
and
to
just
stop.
walk into the
Dempsey.
It's terrible.
Hang on here. Dempsey did something from the
well, like
video.
most of my channel got it starting because like of Rings of Prime and all of the bullshit with Tolkien and all that, and just like it frustrates me because they didn't have to do any of that, but that's a prime example of what happens when studios or executives try to be creative and they're not.
Okay,
when they
like,
try
guys,
when they
I
have
want
contempt for the original work.
I want to it was like I remember watching like Steel with Shaquille O'Neal and like I like John Henry Irons in the comic book.
John Henry
and
Irons.
I would go like,
Oh,
okay, you're making an effort. Like I'll watch it a couple times. It was like now it's just like you're making movies to slight me. Yeah, and spit in the face of the people who got you there.
One second, guys, before we go into Roman's next thing. It just came across my feed.
No, can't hear it.
So 1 second. Legendary science fiction author, his name is Werner Vinge. He passed away yesterday, so we lost another great one.
Oh, Emma Walsh died
Werner Vinge. He's a legendary science fiction writer. If you haven't read a lot of science fiction, maybe you wouldn't heard of him, but he's one of the all-time grandmasters.
The captain in Blade Runner died too.
Yep,
the actor.
Emmett Walsh.
Yeah. I honestly thought that dude was dead
Walsh
like
had to be
years
like
ago.
I didn't realize he was still alive.
So he looked old. He looked 80 when he was in that Chuck Norris movie.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I thought he was 80 when he was in Blade Runner. So good on MM. So I'm just going to throw this one in here real fast because I'm pretty excited about it. Jar of Flies, 30 years since this incredible album came out, and I'm getting my vinyl tomorrow, and
their first 3 or 4 albums are pure gold. I mean,
now that I know that the vinyl looks like that, that's happening.
Yeah.
So again, I know that we don't generally cover this kind of stuff on here, but I was just like, fuck, 30 years ago.
That was a bunch of good stuff. Bluish Occult's last album is coming out around now.
30 years ago.
I saw that. So that's an interesting one. So it's nothing new on it. Well, nothing new.
I think there are like re-recordings of older songs or something.
No. What it is things from the studio they just never put out. There's a track from 2016 that it is also gotten some rework to it, but none of these are new tracks. These are newly released tracks.
Yeah, but I think they said they're going to re-record a couple of them. Like
not from what I saw, because I own like all the other Blue Oyster Cult albums because I'm a weirdo.
Well, I have them too.
But This one I was like, is it gonna be like super
Yeah,
cool?
I noticed that, Roman. Every time you post your vinyl, like I was like, I didn't know that Blue Oyster Cult had this many albums. I gotta do a deep dive.
Oh yeah, Blue
I
Oyster
was like,
Cult
if
is
Roman likes them,
incredibly.
I gotta check them out.
I've talked about them before on my live stream, Sammy, probably before I knew you, Sammy. But they're an incredibly deep band to get into everything. How many members they've had, how many famous people have been in Blue Oyster Cult under pseudonyms, things like that. It's just they're an amazing band.
Sammy's going on a deep dive.
Yeah, it's worth your time. Now, something that may or may not be worth our time. This broke today, and I don't know how I feel about it.
No.
I'm a little afraid. So here's the thing. Before you jump off the cliff here.
No, I feel like that Punisher meme. No.
Roy Duffy is not in charge of this. This is going to be going over to the people who did the John Wick films. Now, if you think about it, the original Boondock Saints was kind of like John Wick before John Wick. Just kind of a glorious kill fest. Now, 2 we know was incredibly bad. It was not a good movie. There's no trying to, put lipstick on the sow's ear or so, or make a purse out of a pig. There's a pig involved in this saying. Pigs are delicious. So this, I don't think this should exist either. I don't really see a reason for it. Because again, we go back to there is no original ideas in Hollywood.
Well, the reality is for anything that's created in fandom, there's always a group of fans who want to see more of it. So
yes, that's true.
And they could give a shit less if it's good or not. They just
want to consume.
No, there are fans who want more that's good. And then there are fans who want more because they don't have high quality, like they just want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right. Yeah,
they're exactly what They Live warned us about. Like they are.
Well,
so what are
dig too deep.
I don't really know where this is going.
I hope the tagline is "Cats will die."
Yes.
Both these actors. Go ahead.
I was saying the John Wick team has mostly done good work. So
no, exactly. Monkey Man was from that same studio.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what does it mean? Even if it's a good movie, it's still we go back to the same fucking problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop doing remakes.
Okay, so this is supposed to be a sequel. Fine and okay, do whatever. But this is something that we talked about for the St. Patrick's Day show. The original film was literally lightning in a bottle.
Yep.
So trying to recapture that is going to be near impossible. I mean, so you got Norman, you got Sean, you got Billy coming back. Okay, great.
I didn't even know he was still alive.
Going to be in it? Are you going to bring in? Are you going to bring back Julie Benz? Which she was probably the best part of the sequel. But I mean, what could I don't think that because these films are so far removed.
Yeah.
That who from a younger generation is going to see this. I mean, this is
most likely not.
No,
right.
What year was
this is but 2000s ish, somewhere around there. But I mean, this is such a niche.
Yeah.
But this is such a niche audience here.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. I mean,
no, I don't know. I expect it's going to. I want to say it's going to be horrible. I don't know though. I mean, new studio. It could be fine, but much like talking about Romulus, Alien Romulus, it might be fine, but it's a movie that simply doesn't need to exist.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it'd be mid at best.
Like Gladiator 2.
Oh, fuck off! With
I'm gonna.
Fuck Gladiator 2 so fucking much.
How about Lethal Weapon 5?
They literally are too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit now.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're doing it. I haven't seen anything more about it though. Like Joker said, these things are in development. We knew about Lethal Weapon 5. What, about 2 years ago they started saying they were going to do it. Danny Glover's like 100 fucking years old.
Yeah.
Gibson might still be able to pull it off. He's starting to look like fucking
Well, the thing is,
Rasputin though. So
if
I don't know if that's going to work.
They
either.
can make that work if they're basically 75-year-old police captains who aren't allowed on the street. You know what? Make that joke, and like every time they go out, an army of SWAT is sitting with them to make sure they don't destroy the city. You know, just play it up. You know, it's like that was
Danny
the
Glover's.
funniest thing about
How many years
Glover.
ago? How many decades ago was he saying he's too old for that shit?
Yeah, it was in the
1980,
80s.
whatever
90s.
fucking it was.
90s.
And he was younger than me
90s.
then. He was a lot younger than me then. So in minor,
the movie opens up with Danny Glover getting a gold watch for his services.
Finally.
Oh, God. And then that's what's so crazy about getting old is like you see somebody in the movie when you were younger and you're like, man, Danny Glover was old as shit back then. And now you realize, shit, I'm older than he was.
I'm way
in
older
that
than he was.
movie.
Like Wilford Brimley in Cocoon, he's only like 45 or whatever. It
Well, he
was
always
like,
looked like he was 90 for like 35
blew
years.
my
The effects of
mind.
the diabetes.
There are actors and actresses and people who just from the moment they get out of the womb, they look like they're 100 years old, and then there are others who look like they've never aged a day past 15.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, Morgan Freeman's been 100 his entire life.
Yes.
Michael G. Fox.
So minor news: Batman is delayed a year. Again,
Oh no! Oh,
I
didn't care about the first one.
I didn't give a
exactly.
fuck about the Batman. I didn't give a fuck about it. I watched it. I
They're
thought
shooting more motorcycle
it was
scenes.
okay.
They need more
It's just-
motorcycle
I
sequences.
wasn't in it.
Nobody
so
wanted
that's why it's-
sparkly boy.
They don't have enough girl
he's
bosses.
going
I
to be
agree,
in it,
Joker.
Do you guys? So you remember that brief moment at the end of the Batman where they?
Yes. That wasn't me.
That's what they're going to throw
I did
that
not
into the
approve
mix
of
this
that.
time.
I
Fuck
did-
it!
I
Don't
did
they
not
shouldn't
approve
fucking
that.
do it again.
Joker, you don't want a sparkly Batman?
I just
What?
don't give a fuck about.
I
any
guess.
of
Well,
this.
this
I don't
isn't
like
part of the
Batman,
DC.
period.
James Gunn is
No.
what is called the
No.
Everglades
No.
or Everlast or Ever fucking whatever Everworld. So it's like
Oh,
I think that should be
together,
a new name.
CC.
All right.
Elseworld.
I need you guys.
Stop with the
I just
Batman
remember
movies,
that
please.
scene where Bruce Wayne's just kind of like cussing out Alfred after he gets blown up, and I was just like, "Fuck this."
No, he needed to change his fucking panty liner and get on with his fucking life. I fucking don't like that Bruce Wayne. He's a cunt.
I did
No.
like the opening
don't like
sequence of
Bruce
that
Wayne
movie.
either.
For different reasons.
Yeah, the
So
opening
speaking of,
sequence was
so hey
good.
guys, we're gonna go slightly political here. So I need you to brace yourselves. And I don't. It's not horrible political, but
Get ready for the Tom
it's
Bob
it's
to go
this.
off.
Fucking Bobby De Niro.
Oh,
Oh,
I
God.
hate who I loved in so many movies.
He's always been an idiot.
But he's got to stop talking. Stop talking. You look fucking stupid every fucking time you open your fucking mouth at this point. You're 100 years old. You should have fucking disappeared, been embraced by the fans until they put you in a fucking hole in the fucking ground. But now
look at that
you
picture of
just
him
look-
too.
I
He's
can't
getting
wait
that.
for you to fucking die.
He's got that pouty bitch face, like on his lips. That the same one that Springsteen's starting to get. Like,
Oh,
Joker's about to swat a fly. Joker's about to swat a fly.
how?
Yes, Joker.
So this comes from
Smoking peace
this
pipe.
is the biggest downfall of social media because
Yeah.
for the longest time, actors, celebrities, sports figures, there was a invisible wall between them and us. So there was an air of the mystique to them.
Mhm.
Problem is, social media took that wall down, and now we get to see them in their everyday life. And not only are they do just the same dumb stuff that we do, they're actually dumb and doing the stuff that
Yes.
we
Oh
do.
yeah.
These are not
Well,
smart
when you think about it, none of these
people.
guys have like original thoughts. Their job is to say shit that other people wrote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Their
Like,
job
they-
is to copy other things and be other people.
They play pretend for a living, and then a lot of these nimrods will follow them, going like, "Well, Robert De Niro said it." It's like, who gives a shit? Oh, you
He's
mean
a great
the,
pretender.
the
He's a
dad
wonderful
from Meet
pretender.
the Parents?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
If they have a good agent, they will tell them, no, don't start social media.
Just don't
Stay off
fucking
social
say
media
anything. Don't say a
and
fucking thing.
shut your
Yeah.
mouth.
Let people
Or-
just go with the product.
or as we have seen with some Hollywood celebs who do have a good team and who have a bad team. You get the folks who have the good team. You've got people like Jenna Ortega has a very good team around her. Sydney Sweeney has a very good team around her. Bree fired her team and put a new team around her, and she's starting to sound like, okay, you may be kooky, but you're not.
And I saw her
wacky.
boobies on the Tonight Show, and I like her now.
Well, there you go. but you get
you're absolutely correct.
right.
Or that thing they caught Jenna Ortega like smoking a cigarette like outside of a building one time. And they're like, she's smoking. And
Who cares?
she's basically, yeah, whatever. Like I have a life. You just don't know about it. And guess what?
Right.
All those people that you mentioned who they have that wall around them. There is a mystique about them. That's why they're hot at the moment, because they don't, I was like, when you're constantly giving your opinion on things that you're not educated on, like Mark Ruffalo, you become a fucking meme. And we realized that and the only person who has ever broken out of that for me is Tom Cruise. Like after Tom Cruise had that meltdown on the Oprah Winfrey show, there was a good 5 or 6 years where I could not take that man seriously in a movie. If his younger films, I still love them. A Few Good Men is one of my favorite movies of all time. After I saw him bouncing up and down like that, if he was in it, I didn't care to see it because he no longer could suspend my disbelief, because I was like, this is the crazy guy who's jumping up and down about Katie Holmes. And then all of a sudden he started going back to saying, hey, this is for the fans and everything. And we rallied behind
example,
him.
Matt. If I may, Matt, let me just add in another name here. And probably one of the only decent people in the current Disney Marvel camp there is Haley Steinfeld. Again, there's a mystique around her because she's not out in front. She's not out in front of cameras. She is basically living her life and keeping it out of the public eye, unless she's seen with Josh Allen, and then it's like, oh, okay, are they banging again, or are they not? So,
well, I want to say, I want to be clear about something. I kind of agree and disagree with Sammy at the same time. I don't have a problem with celebrities offering their opinions and thoughts on things, but I do have a problem when they can't articulate something. All De Niro does is he spouts, "I hate this guy sucks." Mm-hmm. I don't need to hear that. Now, if he could say, "Well, I disagree with Trump's economic policies because this, and this," or something like that,
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair.
Yeah.
I actually,
not man. He's going to kidnap me.
I disagree.
Kidnap me.
I disagree. I want the monkey to just fucking dance. I don't want the monkey to try to fucking preach to me. I don't want it. I don't care if the monkey is well spoken or not. I want the monkey to keep its fucking mouth shut, like the monkey used to.
Yeah.
But Roman, we're a different type of monkey. Why are we talking about politics?
Because I'm not them. I'm not them. I'm not. If I were
no
on
one's
stage,
giving me millions of dollars.
If I'm in a band and I'm on stage, you're not going to hear me say a bad thing about
Frank.
Obama and Big Mike, or you're not, or the Orange Man. I will not talk about any of that on that stage. We are the critics. We are the modern critics. We're not them.
Musicians,
that's why we can say what
and actors and musicians and actors are not politicians. We don't want to hear. That's not why we listen to your music or watch your
pro
movies.
athletes in there too.
Well, no, see,
oh yeah.
Okay, it was like, because you're good at baseball, you're gonna tell me how to vote? Fuck off.
Well, and also I would argue, not really argue, but like make the point of there's a difference if you're in an interview and someone asks you directly, what are your thoughts on XYZ? And now like these people who are just spouting crap on the internet, like it's dumb, but like I guess from like if they're being asked directly, I think it's a little bit different. But
and musicians, guess what? Sorry, I've always said this. I liked Green Day until Billy Joe started telling me how to fucking vote. Hey, guys, not everyone can be Bob Dylan. Okay? Shut up and play your music. That's not, okay. No one wants to hear it.
Well,
to Sammy's point, Bob Dylan wrote his thoughts in his music.
Yes,
he did. I mean, that was a big part of it. And granted, yes, I get the 60s were a very different time than now, because back in the 60s, they didn't have the platforms, the social media. I mean, it all goes back to the original problem is we know far too much about these people. We have far too much access to them. And it's an unfortunate thing, but there are those who do a good job of managing it and staying the fuck back and being the person. And Sammy and I were kind of talking about this a little bit before the show about being the person that we, the fans, expect them to be. That's all they should be to the fans. In private, whatever. I don't give a fuck what they do. That's their fucking life. But you owe your studio, you owe your record company, you owe your fucking publishing house by keeping your mouth shut and still being able to sell the product based on what you created, not anything else about you. And what you do say, and we've seen this how many fucking times now, will actually lose these things money because people are like, fuck you, you're an asshole. I don't want to support you. And by not supporting you, you're not supporting, everybody else.
There's nothing wrong with
that film.
Yeah. No, that's what I always tell people with especially, just like we were talking about these bonehead directors who say stuff like that, where they're like, well, it can't please everybody. It was like, okay, well, I have an opinion, and the way that I express my opinion is by paying for shit. So when you're going to tell me this movie isn't for me, I'm going to let my wallet do the talking, and your movie is going to lose money because me and people who think like me are no longer going to be interested in your product.
And that's how it's supposed to work.
Yes, the market corrects itself.
The left has been trying to rig the system for the past 10 years.
Yes, of course.
So they cancel people who disagree with them.
Same people who want to demolish the Electoral College and get rid of the Supreme Court. Of course they don't. They want to change the rules on everything.
No, it's
so
the same
when they give you a
weirdos.
bullshit propaganda film like that, and we say, "Hey, we don't like it," they go, "No, you're gonna fucking love it." And if you don't, you're a Nazi. And that's the game they play.
Speaking of corrections, it looks like Kotaku is going down in flames.
Oh my god!
In
Eric July was talking about buying it today. I was like, you can't buy something that's worthless.
Me too. I'm like, why? Why'd you want to buy that?
And that's how it's supposed to work. Although the truth of the matter is, 9 out of 10 businesses eventually fail or get bought out anyway. So, I mean, just being the reality of it, you know what I mean? Like whether it's a media business or a pizza business or whatever, sooner or later the original owner is done, whether because they fail, because they die, or don't want to work in it anymore, and someone buys it, they close it or whatever, and
shit.
It's
not you, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's like it's an interesting process to look at. Like if you ever get into like economic evolution, I guess you would call it. If you ever want to do a deep dive into stuff, and not to. What I got interested in was a series of books I've read. I kind of borrowed from my high school Jesuit secret library that they introduced us to. It was a series of 10 books about medieval commerce in the Dark Ages, and from there I was like, wait a minute, there's a lot that goes on within micro, and I sort of from there I jumped into I always look at like Joker, you do it too. We look at the finance stuff in addition to the fandom stuff, and you get a parallel what's really going on versus what seems like it's going on, and it's an interesting deep dive.
Just
I would love to go medieval on a couple of these people. If I don't feather Mark Ruffalo, that would just be
fuck Mark Ruffalo. Okay. No, but I don't want to not see a movie because of something an actor said. That ends up what happening. I want to not see a movie because the movie isn't good. The movie isn't worth my time. That's why I don't want to support things. I don't want to be put in a position where Sean Penn. I fucking hate Sean Penn so much. I can't watch anything with Sean Penn.
Well, I think he
His
sucks
old
as an
stuff
actor, so I
is-
don't watch his stuff anyway.
But it's just I can't tolerate him so much that I can't watch anything with him in it now. And that shouldn't be the case, but it is because they have made it the case. It's like, oh, okay, you know, it
Well,
just
I
makes my brain
didn't
hurt.
watch.
I'm sorry.
I didn't watch Good Will Hunting for the longest time because Matt Damon and Affleck were in it.
Matt Damon.
Well, I think
that's
they're
a
horrible
great,
actors.
But that's
so
a great
I hate
movie. Yeah.
Okay, so
Matt Damon.
well,
It is.
I want to say,
I think it's
so
Yeah, that's my.
I want to say this because I understand what Roman was saying. When people ask, you know, a celebrity or an athlete or somebody or a musician about a certain political topic and they can't articulate, but they say whatever the big talking point is. I think what Roman is saying is that's not what I'm paying you for. I'm paying you to entertain me, not give me your opinion on anything. That's
well, then
not
don't pay
what
for
you're
the.
being
My
paid
point is,
for.
don't pay for the opinion. Like I could totally separate. Like because the vast majority of these actors I know have political and musicians I know have opposite of what I believe. You know, how many authors like I could name. I don't know if crazy name, but
Stephen fucking King, cocksucker.
Stephen King, David Brin. You know, authors I've read or even Robert Jordan. Robert Jordan was a leftist. People don't know that he was a leftist. He was a feminist.
Yeah, but you know what? You didn't know it. That's the
did.
nice thing. Stephen King can't help but fucking.
Oh my
vomit
God, he's
shit out of his
unhinged.
mouth.
You know, Jordan was out and out.
He does something.
No, Jordan was out and out with his opinions back then when he was writing the books.
I never knew anything about Robert Jordan other than the books. I didn't go deep. I didn't go looking for it, but I don't have to look for it with Stephen King. It's just right fucking there.
We don't have to look for
can't get
anything
on
anymore
Twitter.
because our computer-driven AI is finding it for us now. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
true. You're not wrong.
So
Yes,
the-
Joe.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm going on a tangent. I apologize.
But that's the point I'm making, Roman. Like that. I think that's what we hope for you is like tell your computer to shut the fuck up. I do that occasionally. You know, I do that occasionally.
The best example is Walter Cronkite. Far leftist. Far leftist.
we go.
You never knew.
Because he did his job. And he did it with integrity.
Well, see,
Right.
I kind of disagree with that. Because for example, now I'm not old enough to have seen everything Cronkite ever did. But I'll bring up a more modern version of Dan Rather. Okay. For decades, Dan Rather was considered one of the gold standard neutral journalists, right? But then it turned the whole thing with him helping push those forged documents, trying to frame Bush Jr. for being a draft dodger. And then it turns out behind the scenes he was writing speeches for Democrats. And then when you go back and look at all the news he reported on, and you begin to analyze, it turned out he was slanting stuff just in a way people weren't, because they trusted him, they didn't see it, you know? So in a modern context, you have to, you can't just look at, like I listen to a lot of left-leaning people like Jimmy Dore, Young Turks, a couple others, Jew Dissonance, all different types. I listen to a lot of right people for the right than I am. And I take all the information, or celebrities who offer actual concrete thing, like Susan Sarandon will say some actual concrete things, you know, as opposed to De Niro or Sean Penn who will spout nonsense out their ass all the time. You know, like I put it all in the box and look at it. You know what I mean? That's the best way to filter out the garbage. You got to put a lot in there and learn to analyze it. You know, not just take. It drives me crazy because the whole left is trapped in this. Not the whole left, but these cultists who just listen to MSNBC and just listen to The View and you know
The View.
The hoax that they just tried to start. What was it, 2 weeks ago? The bloodbath hoax. You guys caught it?
Oh yeah, I saw it happen in real time.
Right, and then Joe Scarborough. When he was
I listened to his commentary.
Someone's got a clip of him using the word bloodbath to talk about stuff. Well, over 40 different inches of him saying bloodbath. Okay, and then they just kept spamming that on Twitter, right? So it's like you gotta like that's how you got to do now. Whenever someone says something, no matter how much you trust them, right? You got to take what they say. Look at things that deliberately disagree with stuff. And I learned this in engineering, right? You always got to look at like the extremes to know what's going on, and even get away from politics, right? Let's talk about like we're talking here, movies, hobbies, whatever. If you want to know if, for example, what was the show we were just talking about, Fallout, right? If Fallout's going to be good, you can't just take what this director is saying, right? You can't just look at the movie, the thing itself. You got to break it down. Look at the acting. Look at the writing. See, you got to put it all together and see if it's good. Not just trust any one person to say and tell, oh, that guy likes it, so it's going to suck or whatever.
Okay, but and the best case for that was or is the Acolyte, because for a while there was one voice out there who was screaming to high heaven that this show was not happening. It was not happening. There was one voice, and he has a very cult-like following on his Patreon and stuff. He listens to little birds, one type of bird in particular. And then you got someone like WDW Pro, the Valiant, and Campbell, who found the legal documents because they know where to look. They found the financials. This show was funded. This show was backed. This show was in production. This show was happening. And the bird talkers were like, no, you're wrong. You're wrong. I have proof. I have an insider, and they now have egg on their face. And they're not. And they're not saying a damn. They're not saying a damn word. Now.
Evidence shows that Kathleen Kennedy was doubling down on this stuff. It was like when there was a point in time where there was a lot of speculation that her job was kind of
I missed
rocky, and they said she was trying to rush order that stuff out.
The problem is, Kennedy, you have to understand. And look at the finances. She doesn't just work for Disney; she owns part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's a significant stockholder. Okay. So that's what happened with George Lucas. He bought her little company, or her husband's little company, merged into Lucasfilm, and she legitimately helped him grow the business. So she did some stuff there, right? And then whereas Lucas appeared to totally have cashed out, as it were, from Disney, right? Her chunk merged into Disney, and she has significant financial power. That's why they can't push her out.
So hey, let's.
Also, why would they right now?
Well,
the CEO.
I can't even get.
Chapek wanted her out, but he couldn't push
Disney.
Her out. Chapek wanted her out.
Everyone at Disney should be. Everyone in any kind of decision-making place in Disney should be removed. They won't be because they can't be. That's the reality of it. Yeah. Disney is dead as any kind of brand at this point, other than the theme parks, which I know attendance is down, but at least they're there. But Disney cartoons, remember Wish? What a fucking popular thing that was. Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
And it was because I really liked Elemental, Marvel. And it bombed.
But there's nothing. There is nothing there. It's an empty jug.
Right, and I don't want you guys to
having water in it.
It's Kathleen Kennedy for a second. I think she started losing her mind when all this Me Too stuff came out. She has an incredible track record of all this stuff that she helped produce over the years. I think she was exposed to a lot of absolute monsters in the industry, and she just doesn't know how to turn it off.
I think she's a hardcore.
She's had her moment in the sun. She was dealing with guys like Weinstein and all that, which why she hired whatever. I have no idea, right. But I'm sure all of those women went through nightmare scenarios. It was like, we had Me Too. You got your voice out. Let's try to return to normalcy here.
I have no sympathy.
But even after the Me Too movement, if you think the casting couch has gone, you're lying.
No,
to yourself.
It's probably even worse now. It's better hidden.
All this Me Too garbage from these Hollywood bitches, pardon the expression, they're women. They didn't complain until after they got their millions, were successful and unassailable.
And you know what you were getting into.
Young actors and actors keep having to go through it for decades.
Yeah. No. It's not just actresses. Yeah. It was like listen to like Corey Feldman talk. It's horrifying.
Go look at old interviews with Mickey
Brendan
Rooney.
Fraser came out.
Yeah.
And,
Brendan Fraser had a meltdown from the treatment of these people. So it's like it's
Well,
not
if you
a
look at any
one-sided
of
thing.
like if you look at any of the Nickelodeon stars, the old
Yes.
Disney stars, like all of these like child teen actors and actresses, there's a reason that when they became adults, they went just out of their mind.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Here, great example. It would be the Olsen twins. So look at the Olsen twins and then look at their younger sister, who seems to be pretty well adjusted. And because she didn't really get famous until she was an
Later.
adult. I mean, honestly, it was like it's a monstrous industry. And anyone who wants to come out and be like a whistleblower on this, I'm gonna call bullshit, because you knew what you were getting into. It's been like this since
The beginning.
Yes, since
one.
it started.
Mickey Rooney
So-
was a childhood star, right? And you go back and look at interviews and read his biography. They started feeding him women from the point he hit puberty. He was married like 9 times or whatever. But they would feed him young starlets because hot chicks. And he'd be like, yeah, I want to have sex with that one. They would just say, go have sex with Mickey Rooney if you want a job. And he didn't know any better. And he did. That was the way Hollywood was. If you were on the top, and you, man or woman, if you were on the top and you wanted someone young, they gave them to you,
And on that note, folks, we're going to start wrapping up for this week. Well, that ended actually being a very interesting conversation about the this and that's of Hollywood, where we started off with one dumb fuck actor, and then we delve into the business behind that. Man, that was a rough one. I had a couple more topics. Neither of them is actually that important. They're making a Teen Titans series. Yay. And good news, they're doing Outer Range Season 2. If you saw Outer Range Season 1, it was actually a very interesting series. So they are Season 2 is actually
Never heard anything about it. I'll have to check it out.
Did
But
you guys see the casting going around Twitter, like what some of these yahoos want for Teen Titans? It was like,
I saw
I
that
think
meme.
people are only aware that there's like 5 actors in Hollywood. They're like Robin, Timothy Chambray, or whatever the hell his name is.
Fuck.
It was
It
like,
won't
Been that way. When
Tom
there's a
Holland should
superhero,
play
they're like,
Beast
they're,
Boy.
Oh,
they can
Jenna
only have
Ortega
these
should
2
play
people when
Raven.
they do
And then-
like
then they
superheroes
wanted
and
The
stuff.
Rock to play Cyborg, and it was like,
Yes.
The
There's a
Rock's
TV
50
show-
years old.
Whoa,
What are you talking
Okay,
about?
whoa. With Teen Titans from DC, that being the Warner Brothers will never work with Dwayne Johnson again. Never.
Oh yeah.
Never. Because
Oh, you mean after that,
because-
the amazing movie that was Shazam?
not just that.
Black
Or,
Adam.
not Shazam, I'm sorry, Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Because
They both suck,
Right,
so it
because-
doesn't matter to me. They're both
because
fucking
that was
terrible.
in the transition of from Hamada to now Gunn. So The Rock tried to weasel his the way in and strong arm to become what James Gunn is.
Well, that didn't work out.
No, it did not.
So
No.
anyway, so yeah,
And-
and like I said, Outer Range Season 2. If again, Outer Range is very much worth your time. I'm waiting for the fucking thing to load. If you haven't seen it, it is a very unique. It's a Western ranch
say too much.
story
Don't-
with a
Roman
sci-fi twist.
Well,
That's,
see,
and that's
I was
all
gonna
I'll
say,
say. Yeah.
What's it
Don't
on?
even say that, because you don't know until you know.
What was it on? Was that on Amazon?
Yeah.
I forget.
Well, it's on I have it
Amazon.
on
Yeah,
Netflix,
it's on Amazon. James wow.
James Brolin.
James Brolin
Josh
is in
Brolin?
it, and Josh Brolin. I'm sorry, Josh Brolin is
Josh
in it. I
Brolin,
think
yeah.
he's the only name that's really associated with it. It's an exceptional show. There's a lot. Just a lot of very good drama, and then there's a unique sci-fi element that is just kind of out of the blue. But if you haven't
Right.
seen Outer Range, watch it.
Well,
There's not a lot of
did
good
you really
original
tell the
TV out there.
You weren't sure till the end if it was science fiction or fantasy or horror.
Right.
Like,
And it's original
Yeah,
as
that's
fuck,
neat.
though. So we talk about
Yeah.
things, looking for original programming. This is good original programming. So check it out.
Excellent.
So I want to thank the panel again for actually a very spirited discussion this week. This was a lot of fun. And the chat, of course, as always, for hanging in there with us. And if you're watching this on rewatch, thank you as well. Always get such good comments out there about, either things that we're, feeding us info or making fun of me. Both of those are perfectly acceptable and approved of. So we're going to go around the horn here real fast and talk about what is coming up. And then we will bug out of here. So my good friend, Shieldwall of Dragons, what do you have coming up, my friend?
Hey, thanks for having me on. This is a great panel. Thanks to the chat. On Tuesday, I just had it in my head. What are we watching, Jacob, on your show on Tuesday?
The 39 Steps.
That's it.
Alfred
Yes.
Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock. That's going to be a good one. I think I'm on that one. So that's what I got going on. And then on Wednesday, Zach's asked me to come on his show and talk about Shogun. So I'll be on there at, it's like 7 Central. Yeah, 7 Central. And then I've got next week on this show where we will be doing, I can't remember.
Yeah, you were really in the zone on that, man. I was having a rough time with all those Japanese names.
I might be on something. Oh, Mando.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, so tomorrow, Nomi they're trying to remember exactly. Nomi the only, because I've seen Nomi without you as well. So our friend Nomi is going to be having a stream tomorrow, and I will be a guest on that stream. It's Buy a Girl a Drink stream, kind of a fundraiser stream to help her get to Vegas. I will also be drinking with her, so it'll be great. I won't be able to go to Vegas, but I'm going to be drinking like we're in Vegas.
I thought you were going to go.
No, it's a fundraiser so that way she can go to Vegas.
Roman eyes, I thought you were coming. Oh,
I wish.
I got to meet Nomi last time. Nomi is a wonderful person in the real world as well as on the interweb.
What time?
What time?
It starts at 5 Central. I'll be a little bit late because I get off work right at 5. But she'll be going for several hours.
3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in Pacific, the wrong coast time. So I don't know if I'm drinking myself yet at that point. I'm taking a little bit of a break because I lived life like a Roman orgy for 3 days last weekend. It was a friend's birthday, and we celebrated it every fucking day. And my liver actually wept on its own. I could hear it going, please stop. You're killing me. So it was a rough weekend for around the Empire. But So in whose channel is it going to be? Over on Nomi's channel?
Yeah, it's going to be over on Nomi's channel. And then Sunday evening into Monday morning, I will be on Horny Alf's channel playing some games with some other cool ladies. So that'll be great. And I'll be up till like 1 o'clock in the morning, my time, 1 or 2 o'clock. Because that's what we've been doing. I'll be probably on and off different streams also this next week. But those are kind of the highlighted ones because I'll be drunk tomorrow. Yay!
Oh, sweet mother of God.
And also, sorry, before I forgot, Dempsey highlighted my channel. Please, if you are not subscribed to me, please go ahead and subscribe. I am at 267. I would like to get to 500 eventually, please. About halfway there. So
everybody's channel is in the description for the show. So if you're not over there already, please go to these channels, subscribe to them, and watch their stuff. Don't just subscribe. You have to watch your stuff as well. At least now, when they're on live, fantastic. If you want to pick up some of their old stuff so they can get the time, because everybody needs time. Beard of Liberty. What do you got coming up, bud?
See here. Next thing for me is Saturday night, 9 Central, I think it is, for After the Weekend Harder. We've actually got a special guest. I believe I've got some of the information here. We might be talking to Craig White, the creator of the indie comic Soul Tech. And we'll be going over some of his work. Apparently, it's a story of a bounty hunter, a neo samurai, and the fate of our solar system. So I'm looking forward to reading what I was sent.
Interesting.
So I think that'll be a fun conversation. I think we're going to be taking After the Weekend Monday show off. Maybe I'll get on there solo and just do something. I got my first solo run the show myself this past Monday. If people want to go watch it, it was kind of awkward, and but Blair and Jacob were there to give me some support. I managed to get through it. And then I don't know exactly what I've got coming up beyond that, but people can follow me on Twix at Beard of Liberty, and anytime I know something, I'll announce it there.
Right on, right on. Our favorite wizard of the interwebs, Blair de Blair. What do you have coming up, my friend?
No live streams right now, but I am going to be in Vegas. Yes, it's going to be awesome. You can all follow me on X, Blair de Blair. I post all kinds of just random stuff. So,
right on, right on. Joker voice. What do you have coming up, my friend?
Tomorrow morning, dropping another video at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Still going into the world of the WWE because, like I said, Hollywood's not giving me much to work with. So, and WWE is a lot more entertaining nowadays than Hollywood is. You can also catch me Friday night, 7 p.m. Pacific, simulcasting from Legion Talk for Friday night's Royal Rumble, kind of like what we do here. Also, next week, aside from my normal streams that I do, Wednesday, also from Legion Talk, there will be Wednesday SmackDown, where we're going to be talking about the WrestleMania card. And friends of the channel, of all our channels, Left Eye Ego and Tyler the Red Beard will be there as well.
Awesome.
Later, Tim.
See you, Tim.
Tim, don't kill anyone, my
Later.
friend. Jacob
All those
Ironside.
Raylos, by the way.
What do you, he does? What do you got coming up, Jacob?
Well, I think tomorrow I'm going to be on Potato Raven's show. Not sure, haven't got any information yet. But
Awesome.
Great.
And of course,
Ma'am.
gonna have the and of course Tuesday 39 steps. That'll be good. That'll be fun.
And Jacob, I want to compliment you. Your Rambo show. Your Rambo show was fucking awesome. I very much enjoyed that. It was a really good time.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, actually, it inspired me so much. I realized that I didn't have it, and I bought it on Amazon that night. Just,
nice.
It came today. I'm watching it because it was like, how do I not own this movie?
Nice. Yeah, it was a great stream. It was really fun.
Yeah, I gotta listen to the rest of it tomorrow.
And I got to meet
Matt,
Dempsey
what do you got coming up, buddy?
I got my live. Since I'm not sick this week and dying miserably of whatever, and having a crazy hammer lady and all that.
No hammer lady.
No hammer lady. No electrical problems. No allergy problems. So I got my live stream tomorrow at 3:00. Usually 3 to 3:30, 3 to 4:30 rather. If anyone wants to drop in to listen or drop on, let me know. I'm a first open format with some articles. I've dropped my. I guess I should call it a mini documentary series because it's more expansive than just a review of Masters of the Air. So if you really want to know what in depth, like some World War II information, so to speak, I dropped my episode 9 review, which has all the links that I provide for all the episodes.
Awesome.
Meaning all the extra information. My Shogun review, I'm up to episode 5. That was posted yesterday. What else? I might start, depending if I like the first episode, the 3-body problem, I might start reviewing that. Okay. And I did my review of all the Avatar live action episodes. That's up. I think Jacob, the next time I'm on you, is it Zulu? Jacob?
Yeah, I think so. Next
so
month,
that's about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I checked the calendar. What else? That's kind of what I got going on right now. Yeah. And I dropped a link. You don't have to post it, Roman, but it relates to what we just talked about. I literally just appeared, because I caught it when you were flashing through Dark Horizons on the side. An awesome new Star Wars marketing product.
Blue milk to hit shelves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta find. Hang on.
It's in the link in the chat.
Sweet mother of God. Oh, why?
Okay.
Why?
Because they're so desperate to sell some Star Wars version.
Oh my God!
Like, we got to do something
funny
from
thing.
the
Funny
original
thing. They're
trilogy.
gonna sell more of that than they did the Reva action figure.
Yep, pretty much.
Good Lord, that's
nostalgia bait. There it is.
And I did drop the trailer for George Lucas Strikes Back earlier in the private chat for those who've never seen it.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, sir.
So Sammy 3, Pete, what do you got coming up, buddy?
Well, I think I'm going to be here for the foreseeable future, and I already talked to my wife. I'm definitely going to Vegas next year. That's happening.
I'll be in Vegas too.
You're always in Vegas.
Yeah. No,
Oh no.
See you there. So I finally know where I'm taking the channel. My first project is going to be, and I'm definitely going to be reaching out to you guys. I'm not going to go episode by episode because most of them are 2-parters, but I am going to review all of Batman 1966. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think you know who I need on there, Mr. Joker boys.
Holy flashbacks, Batman.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. Matt, all you guys, I'll be reaching out to all of you for, it was like I'll give you 2 episodes, same bat time, same bat channel.
Same bat time. Same bat channel.
I'll have to send you a picture. I was Burgess Meredith Penguin for Halloween one year. And all I did was just walk around drinking with a cigarette in my mouth, just absolutely trashing people. So I know I'm going to be on. I know I'm going to be on Jake's streams coming up here. I don't have the exact dates. I really got to get my calendar down here. Next week, Friday, I'll be on
the 30th.
AJ Abomination's
nice.
Avatar.
Sweet.
And then I know I'm doing a stream with Gord King. We are, which for some reason I kept saying that I was doing it with Copa last night, but my brain was melting.
Big difference. Big,
it's a huge difference. But yeah, we are going to be reviewing. I don't remember, but
is it Kung Fu Hustle? Or are you doing a Kung Fu?
Oh, I love Kung Fu Hustle, but no.
Somebody's doing one. Somebody's doing one of those.
No, I'm excited about the one I'm doing. Oh, we're doing the Warriors.
Yeah, that's right.
Ooh.
Come out and play.
Classic.
Oh yeah.
Can you dig it?
Yep. Sucker.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, and I'm doing some stuff with. I'm going to be on what is it, Monday? I'm going to be on Sasquatch's channel. April 1st, we're going to be with Nadia, and we're going to be reviewing Godzilla 98, which I've had the displeasure of sitting through.
That's a terrible movie. Not a good movie. Not a good movie. Should be a lot of fun review. Not a good movie.
The thing that is most unrealistic, besides the giant dinosaur, was the way that the women were simping over Matthew Broderick in that movie.
Poor
Ferris
Bueller. The later years were not kind.
He just looks like an old child.
I'm so out of place here. What happened? Please go home now. Go home. But the movie just started. No, go home now. Really.
If you skip all the parts that don't have John Reno, you're in good shape.
That movie is irredeemable. I love making fun of shitty movies, and that was really hard.
Not good.
That was
so again, everybody's info is in the description of the show. Please go and sub to everyone, and please, if you don't mind horribly, please like and subscribe to this show. We still need that as well over here at Of the Empire. Next week, Thursday, 5 Pacific Standard, as we always are. We are doing one of my favorite movies, Almost Famous. We have that 70s rock fan is going to be with us. It's Courtney Dempsey is going to be here along with many of our regular cast. So look forward to seeing you all then.
Jacob, you changed.
It's going to be weird, and I'm looking forward to it. Good night, Zim.
No problem, stream.
So this was a lot of fun, everyone. Again, thank you for being here, and until next time, be kind.